Hello and welcome back to the ESL ESEA Pro League Finals. We are live from Burbank, California at the ESL North American Studios, and we are going to go ahead and dig deeper into this matchup. It's going to be a big one. It's a matchup that I'm sure you guys are as excited as we are for. It's going to be EnVy versus fnatic, and we've got two interesting discussion points right off the bat. Of course, these guys are no stranger to each other, but also we're going to be seeing an EnVy that has been described by a lot of people, both on the desk and at the caster desk as well, suggesting that they themselves have kind of fallen off a little bit, fallen out of favor, and have discovered that a lot of hard work needs to happen. I want us to touch on that first of all. I was talking to NBK before at the hotel, and he was just saying, actually, you know, we haven't spent much time at the gaming house. Something like 2 or 3 days. Like, they've got this incredible opportunity to spend time in a gaming house, and they haven't. I mean, I don't know what it is, logistics, you know, general personal issues or whatever it is. They haven't had an opportunity to use that gaming house yet, and I think that could be playing part of it.
Well, he said they used it once, and he said it didn't go well when I spoke with him.
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
okay.
he's like, it just didn't go well. You know, the attitudes ended up just, you know, making it just a net negative on how they prepared for an event. I mean, Happy just gave that interview, and he said, you know, they have to find ways to be successful more consistently. You know, they have to change some tactics up. They have to change the way they play a little bit to find, like, you know, you can't just always have those. You know, as strong as EnVy is, you can't just rely on, you know, eventually winning a couple ecos throughout a match every single time, you know.
But it is every single time at this point, yeah.
But like, you have to be able to find ways to win, you know, more convincingly. So yeah, they have some changes they need to make, but still an extremely, extremely strong team.
Well, we've got a gaming house discussion going, though. I mean, you've kind of tried both things. In fact, I remember distinctly one of the points we'd used to make about Cloud9 was they used to do these like 2-3 week boot camps in Europe and actually struggle to pick up results off the back of that.
Yeah,
so you've experienced it.
My experience with boot camping and living together in general is anything after a week is too much. People start going at each other's throats. People start complaining about dirtiness and you didn't clean this up, you didn't buy food last time. All kind of weird thing like that just have to do with living and not playing the game because you're always around each other 24/7. So eventually it becomes too much, and that's probably what the envious guy has experienced. And they probably prefer the environment of just being online more.
And I mean, I think there's a lot of positives to it. Excuse me. Like, when you think about it, one of the main reasons boot camps happened, and I've had this point made before, is like you used a boot camp because your internet was rubbish, right? You wanted to all be playing on the same kind of connection, and that's the time of that's gone. So people having their own space and kind of playing within their own environment and having that is actually probably it's got some perks, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. So just being together as a single unit has a lot of benefits. Coaches and whatnot can utilize that a little bit more properly to just get the team together as more of a structured unit. But I think the problem is just you look at the personalities and the points that both of these guys have made. Definitely Pwn a lot stronger, and that life gets in the way a lot bigger. And I think it's better when these guys are again just separate to more degree, unless you have really strong friendships. Like I think CLG may be one exception to this because these guys are like a fairly tight-knit group of friends. But when you look at EnVyUs, I don't think that's really the case, and they just are better separated to some degree where they can focus strictly on the game.
Well, you said look at EnVy, let's do that. Why don't you walk us through that roster then, Blake?
Yeah, so of course we've got, I mean, the roster really needs no introduction. Kenny S, Happy, Apex, Kyoshima, and NBK, all very well-known players within their own right. So everybody is fairly well familiar with them. A lot of very emotional players, which I think is going to play heavily into how they play today versus fnatic. We even saw it to some degree yesterday versus Liquid, but we can talk more about that in a little bit.
I mean, I talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it now, dude. What are you suggesting when you say that they were emotional even against Liquid?
Well, I mean, you look at players sort of like Kenny S too. We saw that sort of on their CT side versus Liquid yesterday on Cobblestone, where unfortunately things start to fall apart. And obviously, I don't understand French, but you can sort of tell from the communication that things start to get a little bit flustered on that side once Team Liquid start getting back into the game a little bit more. And beyond this as well, Kenny too starts making a lot of mistakes. Like, he's not able to pick up the op as often, so he picks up this rifle and he starts making some very confusing mistakes where he goes for these aggressive pushes, gets himself into positions where he really should not be in, and then gives his life away because of that.
On the topic of Kenny, have you ever like specifically studied him when you've been trying to go up against his teams? I mean, that must be something you've looked into.
Typically, all of my teams have had a lot of success against Kenny, and the way we deal with him is we bring the fight to him. A lot of people are scared to go his way, but if you get him out of the game early and you're not afraid to challenge him and just straight take aim battles with him, which sounds very dangerous.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying, but you have to eliminate the ways he can take you out. So you can't go at it kind of just crazy.
Like willy-nilly is
yeah,
what we say
you have
in
to have some kind of strategy around doing it. But if you can get him out of the game, that's your best way of defeating EnVyUs, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, how are you pressuring him? Like, I mean, we could talk about the maps a little bit. Just so, you know, what kind of approaches would you take, say, on Cobble, where Kenny tends to just do whatever he wants?
Yeah, you have to I would honestly rush up towards the A-halls and take quick control of the end of A-halls with a couple flashbangs.
Right.
Just bombing flashes close, nade the close corner, flash over the wall so he can't up that
Just
other close
throw
angle, and
bodies
then
at
just quickly take the end of A-halls, force him into the A site.
Okay.
Just make him very uncomfortable.
And on the other side of things, another name that you're often going to hear when we do talk about Fnatic will, of course, be Olof. But let's talk about Fnatic first of all. You've got that roster that, again, needs no introductions. However, I'm going to do it just in case if you have just turned on and wondering whether you should care about these boys. Most definitely you should. I mean, they're holding the most major wins, and we're going to be seeing Crims, JW, Olof, Flusher, and Dennis, the newest addition. And that's another name that I'm sure we have to dissect. But I mean, Olof Meister hailed as the best player in the world, and I think he's going to be kind of defending that title here during the ESL ESEA Pro Leagues. And I mean, Jason, for everyone who may be uninitiated or just for your own benefit, can you explain what Olof has done to claim that title as world's best player?
He's just been a monster all through the whole year, and this is really just capping off his year. I mean, look at this ADR though, 128 damage per round. That's insane. Almost 2 kills per round, basically. Like, just so hard to deal with. And the way he does it, I mean, he's so strong. He's so versatile as a player. He can AWP, he can scout, he can use Tech 9s, he can use pistols. He's amazing with the rifles as well, but there's never a time where you're going to get him out of his comfort zone because he's just so good with everything. And he's fearless. And now that he's had this monster year, he's just confident in any play he makes. I mean, you see yesterday running through Molotovs to get double kills, and it just works for him. Situation where he's not afraid of Mirage to just walk out of halls in a 5-on-5 with no smokes or flashes. He's just like, all right, I'm going to go find a fight. Because he wins it more often than not. And it's so hard to stop that, now that this player has this kind of confidence against the best teams in the world, like you just don't know what he's going to do. So you always have to be on your toes. You always have to think, if you let your guard down for 1 second on defense, he might be there to punish you. So it's very, very stressful to deal with as a player as well on CT side.
Yeah.
It's so rare, to add on to what Jason just said, it's so rare to see someone with Olaf's skill have his knowledge of in-game rotations and just movement around the map from the other team. I'll watch him play, and I've dissected him a lot when I watch demos, and the way he moves around the map depends a lot on what his teammates are doing around him. He somehow has a very good idea of exactly what's going on in other places of the map and when he has openings to take 1v1 fights and when he's going to get double teamed. And he'll never go out when he's going to get double teamed. He has the best game sense out of anyone in the pro scene right now.
It's that Fnatic hive mind.
Yeah.
And you see it right now in the current meta. Like even teams like TQM, even Envy with Happy. I mean, you have to have that one player that you're willing to let be solo, and he has to have such a good understanding of what moves his team is making and what kind of rotation that's going to cause in the opponents. What kind of, it's like that chess game. If you move your player here, where's the player on the opponent side going to go? What opportunity does that afford you to make on that portion of the map? And they're just so good at it.
See, what's so mind-boggling to me is that's the kind of thing I could do if that was all I had to do. But you also have to be playing CS and hitting shots, which is like this kind of crazy amount of brain activity going on for this, well, I was going to say young Swede. He's getting on now. I think he's about mid-20s. He's hit. I'm joking. I just wanted to hurt the feelings of a certain man on the desk. But yeah, we haven't heard too much from you, Blue. Talk to me a little bit about, but of the entirety of Fnatic, we are going to have to discuss Dennis as well, but I know that we also have to hurry up and start talking about maps. There's a whole lot we have to talk about for such a big match.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
this.
overall with Fnatic, it's just they're a really strong, very solid group that's capable of working together as a really good unit. I mean, you go back to Olof Meister for a second, the timings and whatnot of his own pushes combined with the rest of the team, and we saw them play versus Conquest yesterday were just perfect.
Yeah.
He would always push in, almost always catching players from the opposing team off their guard, shutting them down, easily getting the advantage right from the beginning of the round, and from that point forward, it's just the entire team cleaning up the rest of their opponents. So it's a very strong, very capable roster, very confident roster too, because coming into today, again, they're not really worried about it all. They were just chilling out right here on this couch, so they're ready to go. They're not worried at all.
Playing rap songs as well. Just so everyone's aware that Fnatic are now a up-and-coming hip-hop group. They're going to be expected to see another kind of This Is Fnatic dropping sometime next year.
I love talking about Olof as much as the next guy, but I want to bring up Crims because I think it's like almost a crime that we haven't talked about him yet, because I think he's outstanding. He's playing really well lately, not only, but just, I mean, we've mentioned it at times when he's been dominant in the past, just still maintains such a good fundamental understanding of his positioning, his movement when he's in bomb sites, when he's in certain situations. He's just so smart. It's almost like he never makes mistakes, and he's kind of that player in such an aggressive game as Global Offensive is, who can like find ways to be really super successful while being passive. And even when bomb sites are being taken, he's just so good at working the timing of his movements around certain pieces of cover.
Yeah.
And he's also got his new lucky hat on. He said the other one wasn't bringing him much luck on him, so he's gone and got himself a new one.
This is working out well.
Yeah, we'll see. So far, so good. Of course, that was up against Conquest. Let's talk about the veto, though, boys. We need to kind of dissect that a little further. These teams, of course, have got so much available to them in order to kind of both anti-strat and to kind of understand where their strengths lie. But when you've got teams, you'd say they both have equally deep map pools, Sean? Would you say like they're more targeting their opponent than just trying to get a favorite? What's their approach here?
I think EnVyUs has a much deeper map pool right now than fnatic. With that being said, fnatic's strong across all the maps.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird one.
I'm saying that relative to each other.
Right. But I mean, walk us through this. This makes sense to you?
So yeah, absolutely. EnVyUs probably the best team in the world right now in Cobble, I would say. So obviously they're going to pick Cobble as their map. Fnatic had to veto Cash just because EnVyUs is so much more strong than them on that map. They took them out at the last time they played the Major. Yeah, that's what I was watching. Yeah, Fnatic stomped them on Cash at the Major, so Fnatic probably has that fresh in their mind still.
Right.
Fnatic picks Inferno. That's a very dangerous choice of a map, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them choose something else. I mean, I know they played well against Conquest yesterday, but EnVyUs is a totally different beast on Inferno.
Yeah, and I mean the decider as well. We saw Mirage taken away. Train taken away, and we had Mirage as the decider as well. So that's a map we just see both. I think it was TQM, but we also saw Fnatic play as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I would have rather Fnatic pick Dust 2. I think the secret's out now that EnVyUs isn't as good on Dust 2 as they once were, and they showed that by vetoing it for the final map.
It's going to be a fantastic best of 3, no doubt about it, gents. Blue, your thoughts on the veto, and then throw us into your first prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a very competitive set. Inferno, actually, I think, could be a very good map for Fnatic. Just as a bit of a fun fact, ever since picking up Dennis, they have never once lost the CT side at half on that map as of yet. So we'll have to see if that will be the first time today. But looking at the first map specifically...
this guy, I like that.
Looking at the first map specifically, I do think it could be a strong contender for EnVyUs, but there was a lot of issues showing on their CT side, so I actually have to throw it over to Fnatic for this one.
Okay. How about you, Sean? Feeling Fnatic? Oh, nice. Okay,
EnVyUs for sure. So, are we only doing
just the first map?
Just the first
no
map?
spoilers, come on, man. But
EnVyUs.
he's calling Envy. What about you?
I'm gonna give it to Envy on the first map. I think Fnatic's gonna take the series though, but I'll give the first map to Envy.
You cheated. I only wanted map 1.
I know. I just wanted to get it out there right at
Listening
the start.
skills.
I just wanted to get it right at the
This
start.
is the problem with NA. You don't listen.
Disclaimer.
This is
Quiet, Sumler.
this guy. He's gonna.
More spoilers. He's just told you he's casting as well. This guy. You're ruining everything, Jason. But he's done half of my job for me. Let's go ahead and jump over to your casting pair. It's two men who rarely need an introduction, but it's a well-suited and booted Semler and an okay for Flaren.
Wow, man. What's up, everybody? Shots fired, and I can't hear myself, so
Hey,
I don't know if I'm
I mean,
live
I don't
right
know
now or
why
not.
he's throwing punches. He's the one that burned his shirt off this morning from his iron.
There we go. Yeah, I know, Alex. There's actually pictures, Alex. So, I don't know if you want to talk smack over there, because, yeah, we're just holding that over you. Now I can hear myself. Everything's groovy. And, yeah, we're going to be getting into this first map here. First map of the day, best of 3, upper bracket match between Envy and Fnatic. And to be frank, Fifth, I don't know where everybody's getting the idea that Envy are going to crush face.
I don't know. Like, I think that Sean is. I don't know if he's not getting in the groove of casting yet, but it's a little bit too nice. I feel like. I think that EnVyUs will have a very hard time to even get one map off of Fnatic.
Yeah, you're pretty firmly in the Swede camp right now.
Yeah, I mean
No
the way that
surprise there,
the way that EnVyUs been playing
angry.
as of late. No, but I mean the way that EnVyUs been playing as of late, and just look at Fnatic. They were looking shaky during Frybite, but they are the better team.
Right now, yeah, I think we have to put it out there that both of these teams look shaky right now.
Yeah.
Fnatic, a little bit less so, but still, neither of these teams are really hitting that peak yet. So this could actually lead to some problems in a match like this, especially when Envy were looking a little shaky yesterday on their CT side. In particular, on that A site, that Kenny Apex combo, they've got to figure something out there because it wasn't working versus Liquid yesterday. One thing to say is that Envy, they had a little bit of a harder opponent to deal with, so also a bit difficult to get a real read on Fnatic because Conquest didn't really put up a fight against the Swedes. So now we're really going to get a first, real look here. 2 Tier 1 teams, top of the world, top 4 teams clashing, and we're getting into the knife here to decide who gets to start on which side. And I'll go ahead and ask you, Fifth. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that this knife is really going to matter who gets to start which?
No, not really. When it comes to actually, it's the top 2 teams in the world. If you just compare it to ranking, right? But,
Okay.
Just to compare to ranking, but at this point in time, I don't really think it matters. If you're a good team, you're gonna have a very strong T side, and then it's all about the CT side, right? So. For most time, you see there. I mean, Fnatic winning the knife round and actually deciding to stay T, which is, I mean, I think it's a valid valid stay, valid side pick
Choice,
for him
yeah.
as well, because again, most of the times people, I always refer to this, but people don't actually consider this when you go into the first game of the day, where it's like you are going to be cold. Doesn't matter how much you warm up. It's the match feeling that you're lacking, right? And you want to get into the groove. Picking the T side on most of the maps, especially on a map like Cobble, I mean, it's always going to be better, because then you don't have to sit and hold angles, because you want to get into it.
You
right?
want to set the pace.
Yeah, and especially for these guys now, they've been waiting for 2 hours. They want to play. If they just sit there and they're stationed on CT side, it's going to be like, oh, it's boring.
Especially
right?
when their CT side it wasn't looking all that solid yesterday. They were definitely struggling,
yeah.
Envy. So they have to come up with something big here to start. They're going to have to bop fnatic on the nose early on. And already we see an identical setup here from Envy as well in the pistol. Split up on the A side, one man in underpass, one man up in apartments. There is a bit of a push happening. Oh, that's Kenny going to be pushing to get info, but fnatic, they're not having any of it. Straight into drop. They're putting a lot of pressure on fast here, the Swedes. They want to get into this fight fast, and so far the trades aren't really working for them. They are going back and forth, but Envy, they still keep a man advantage, and this is now going to get real tough. And Envy, they're going to get that start. Happy, really? Happy. The bait! He couldn't get close enough.
Good hold by Envy. I mean, the NBK was just really baiting with the dual elites there, and by the time he got the first kill, he was just waiting, and then Happy. You see here, look at the crossfire here, where you have NBK and Happy just working together there at the drop zone. They're really good.
I mean, it's all right when Happy baits, because Happy gets kills when he baits, right? That's the
and that
argument
as
for
well.
it.
And keep in mind, now it's an eco. Happy loves the ecos, man. And
Time
he's
to get
gonna be
them
running
stats on the
around.
board.
Yeah. Same on T. You know, he's gonna tell everyone else to. Stay
Here,
stationed.
boost me. Okay, no, now, just like, wait there. I'm baiting you. Like,
yeah. Or after I die, you can get him.
I love
Okay.
Kiyoshima also. This is actually an adjustment from yesterday. He's not taking a passive stance. He's actually getting right up on plateau. He's got that auto shotgun. Interesting choice of weapon. But the position is more interesting for me, because he wants to get aggressive. He wants to go ahead and deny that part of the map to Olafmeister. But already, Kenny pushing out from A apartments. Long range spray with that P90, and he's going to get punished. Dennis will take him out with the dig. And so we're back into a 4-on-4, but Fnatic, they've been figured out. So they're going to have to change things up here. They're going to try and make Envy guess themselves a little bit here based on the information.
Yeah, but I really love the aggressive approach from Kenny there. You know, not letting Fnatic do what they want.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, he ends up going down. He gets the one, but he gets the information as well. So.
Spots that bomb. And that bomb is making its way back through connector. And look at this. This is the follow-up here from Envy. They get right out. They try and confirm. Apex goes for a push. He's going to get right up behind them in the hallway. And this is going to get nasty now for Fnatic. They're going to get pinched. Apex is going to be perfectly primed here to go rushing out, and the timing couldn't be worse for Kiyoshima to swap out for a nade. He gets punished by Olafmeister. NBK gets overwhelmed as well, and now it's going to come down to Happy and Apex is there to save the day. Double kill for him, and Happy also alive. So now they have the bomb, Envy, and it's all going to come down to JW, who is lurking over on the A side. And, well, nice first shot. That was the key frag, and he's already aware of where Apex is playing from as well. Not sure if he heard a step. Otherwise, it's a perfect read on his part. He's going to be able to pick up that bomb and make his way over to the site with 6 seconds left. He's just going to get the bomb plant down. Apex trying to close the distance. He wants to rush up and put the pressure on, and he will win it in the end. But what a close round, and what a close second round here.
Yeah.
Fnatic, they came so close to actually picking it up.
Yeah, great save by Apex. Actually, just flanking, and that was the call, right? I mean, he decides to push early. Doesn't see anyone mid. Calls it for his teammates. It's one thing that Kiyoshima gets caught off guard there when he's just about to throw the smoke, but for MBK to rush out the way he did, that was, I don't know what he was thinking there, because you always want to, you never want to take a position where you can get shot from 2 angles, and he knew that that the Fnatic player was at the box, and then for any reason there could be another player on the left side, right? And that's exactly what happened. He ends up going down, leaving EnVyUs in a very bad position. Just wait, especially when you know Apex is 2 seconds away from flanking.
Yeah, this could be nerves, you know, a bit of a tough start for the day. Happy getting boosted up and Happy with the 2 kills.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, buddy. Get in there, Happy,
yeah,
man.
Happy.
I mean, he knows they don't have Kevlar. And now Kiyoshima, he went for the auto shotty again. He gets the kill on Olafmeister. Happy's actually been boosted up, so now it's going to come down to whether Dennis can figure this out. But Flusha manages to find the shot on Happy instead. And they're going to have to back up real quick. They don't have enough HP to go for the challenge. Apex dunks a nade onto Dennis, and it's going to be Flusha alone with the auto. Well, he actually ditches the shotgun. That's a little bit of a surprising choice. Okay, yeah, because if Famas is up here, he's going to be able to pick that up from Happy, so that works, actually. But still, no Kevlar makes this a pretty tricky situation, but still instant headshot on Kiyoshima, who took damage earlier from the first push, and it's going to be a 1v3 now for him. So we're going to see if he can actually manage to get out onto the site. Good pre-fire. Flush is so good at just predicting where his opponents are going to be, what the setup is going to look like when he comes around these corners.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. Like, if you just consider the position he has in the team, right? Because as you're saying, he's very good at predicting corners, actually getting those entries. You saw the entry there on Kiyoshima. Just if he was the first guy in for Fnatic, I think he could do a lot of damage. Not sure, he does a great job in the position he's at, but that's the thing about Fnatic. You have so many. You have these players that can do a lot of you know, different positioning, and that's a strong point for him.
They're always a threat. Double nade close, just in case Happy wanted to go for a boost again. So Fnatic already trying to predict their opponent's moves. And Olofmeister, that's a bit of a big gap. And Kiyoshima, I think he figured that out. He's going to put some shots in there. And Olofmeister's actually going to get picked off by Happy. So that's always tricky as well. Olaf is just hoping that it's going to be like just close enough for a one-way smoke that he can take advantage of. But this time he's going to get punished.
Yeah, that's for Fnatic. I mean, being the man down here, you see there, just spreading out. Time is to make a look at the push here from EnVy coming in from Kenny.
He's right up on the edge there of apartments, but he doesn't want to go through the smoke. So now, well, Fnatic, they're going to try and be as patient as possible. They still have a few nades to work with here as well to make their lives easier if they decide to push out onto the B site. I mean, this is why Fnatic also wants to come back to the B site. If they can get one kill on somebody, catch somebody out of position, it turns into a really nasty situation for EnVy where they have to worry about crossfires. And yeah, we can see JW just chilling out up here and drop. He's waiting for his moment to jump down. NBK with that smoke might prompt him to go for it. He's really thinking about it right now, trying to see if there's a trap set here for him. But he will commit. He's going to get out into drop, and it's going to be Krims falling first to Kiyoshima. Perfect headshot from him. Kiyo's still alive on the side as well. This is all he has to do. He's going to try and fall back, but the passive play actually comes back to punish him. And now JW, he's in the back ranks. Not a problem for flusha. He takes the kill first, but that fell apart so quickly. What an aggressive push coming in from Fnatic. They get the punish on EnVy. And now it's going to come down to Kenny in a 1v2, and he's just going to get picked off at range. Fnatic, they peek together and win.
Yeah, and I was just about to comment on the fact that on Cobblestone, if you end up losing the entry, Olofmeister just walked out there, right? Thinking it's a one-way smoke, ends up going down for Happy's op. And then you're putting Fnatic in a situation where they don't really have that many options. They're basically forced to go B, right? Because B is the easier bomb site to hit. There, Kiyoshima got caught off guard. He got the entry, then he starts jumping around the site, and then they just storm the site, and all of a sudden, within 1 second, 3 EnVyUs players just ends up falling.
You gotta wonder about that as well. Sometimes you do have to just decide, okay, I'm going to stand my ground and take a shot.
Well, that was the thing for Kiyoshima, because he had a good position. He gets the entry. Then you have Happy a little bit further back. He is basically supposed to hold Kiyoshima so they don't rush him, right? That didn't really happen. He ends up just jumping around, trying to peek again, and then that's when there's a little bit of miscommunication there where Happy could have potentially just held his ground, held his left side, and then Kiyoshima just sticks the ground on the right side, and then you have a pretty decent crossfire, right? But a great job by Fnatic. I mean, taking advantage of the fact that the positioning from EnVy wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's also that no fear, right? They get into that hive mind, right? What we're always saying about Fnatic, where they just look like everything. They don't even need to communicate. Everybody knows where to look to find the shots. And, well, that was a pretty clear-cut example of it. No fear, straight-up rush, get the job done. And there is a bit of a trap set over here on the A site now. EnVy trying to predict Fnatic's movements, and they're actually pretty spot on at this point. I mean, there's the peek from Apex. This is the bait, and it might be enough to draw the attention. Flash in, Kenny finds the first headshot, and Kiyoshima the second. Bomb is dropped now as well, and this is getting nasty. Backstab comes in just in time here for flusha, but the damage has been done. EnVy, they still have a man advantage in this situation. And Olaf, he's going to try and turn things around by just rushing in here, taking that straight-up fight. Happy waiting around the corner, though. He doesn't have a target. And this comes down to flusha, and Olaf, and Kiyo hits the first shot. He takes out Olofmeister. But this leaves Happy alone, and he's going to get the job done. Look at that, though. That's when the bait works. He just sits there. flusha has no idea that Happy is close.
They had 3 members, and we had 3 members in middle, and they were all baiting for one another. I mean, that was beautiful. That was great. I mean, you saw the Expo Flash coming in, and we get the 2 entries. Fnatic just trying to make the best of it. flusha pushing into the side hallway. Gets the frag, and then by the time, it ends up in a 1-on-1, but Happy has not even made a move the whole round. He's just been standing there. Obviously, for flusha, it's like, they can't be 3 just baiting in mid. No way.
Right? It just doesn't make sense. And then for Happy, it's like, hit. And while it is going to be the force buy from Fnatic, they don't want to let EnVy recover from this. They know how close a round that was. Still, an eco-round win here for EnVy actually means that they have all the money in the world. They have the double op set up, and Happy was very effective with this AWP on the A site yesterday, so we'll see if he'll be able to keep that up. Olofmeister getting real close to drop, and he's going to get shut down by Apex. Bit of a lucky shot there. But just... this is actually really crazy, just how close Fnatic keep getting with Tech-9s.
Yeah, it could have been even closer, actually, because MBK, he actually got saved. I think from Apex. If he would have gone down, it would have been a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Right, so that was very close. So you see here the tendencies. Yeah, sure, it's not easy to hold the B bomb side. That's why most teams, you know, take advantage of that. But when you cut it this close, I mean, look at EnVyUs economy. You know, they've been losing a lot of members. You know, they want to eco again, but you're in a situation still where if fnatic ends up, now they're actually saying, but let's say they were to end up winning this round, then Envy again, you're forced to a force buy or you double save.
Yeah, you're wrecked basically. Yeah, no money left. And now Olafmeister right on the edge, and Kiyoshima, he actually puts some shots through. Does manage to tag up Olaf. Nade is going to be there to greet Olaf as well. He's down to 33 HP. Now, while this is pretty much a hard eco coming out from fnatic, they have a deagle, a couple P250s, but that's it. No nades to make this any easier for him. So Olaf is going to be able to escape there. Somehow Crims finds the headshot on NBK, though, and that's going to give a rifle up. Yep, gets tossed up to JW. So they have the firepower fnatic now, or at least a little something to work with. And a minute left. Apex there to take out JW, so I'm praising them for, you know, having an M4 to work with, but it is going to get punished right off the bat. Dennis is up close, and Apex all over the place. He will take one with him, but again, fnatic getting that damage in.
Yeah, especially when it's basically a full save. Only P250 they had a deagle as well, ending up killing 2 Envy players. If they get anyone else here as well, that's just great. It's a great eco.
Yeah, this comes down to the communication here. Kenny's got to keep his cool, and he's missing shots. Kenny, this is an eco! How do you let him get close?
They have the bomb side now as well.
I mean, no Kevlar, and Kenny just wants to use that AWP. He gets punished. Olaf down to 1 HP. But with an AWP, you hit that first shot, it doesn't matter. And Dennis with the M4 as well. They've got the firepower here, fnatic. There's the shot, and Keo, magnificent. Manages to pick off Olafmeister before he can have an impact. It's going to be Dennis now trying to hold his own, but without that Kevlar, getting into a spray battle is not going to work for him, and he will get overpowered in the end. But still, 3 kills and a bomb plant,
Yeah.
Fifth.
I mean, that's more than expected, especially on a map like this, right, when you actually need the smokes, you need the flashbangs. Getting the first kill, okay, fair enough. But you see, I mean, Kenny leaving himself all on a bounce with the off, you need to take the long angles, right? Because when they get close, even if he only has a Glock here, you know, he's in a very, very tricky situation there.
That is Olaf, though. That is just brilliant. Switching to the burst as well.
Yeah.
Just, nasty.
Yeah, and again, like as we're talking about, like this is not something fnatic really expect to get 3 kills and a bomb plant. Look at EnVyUs money, right?
Well, right now I think we have just a little bit of
oh,
what is
I'm actually
going on.
controlling this now. Woo! Let's
Are
go,
we
guys!
the observer? We're the observer now. Okay, boys.
Wait. Okay, here we go. Yeah, bros.
All right, so just quick swap over, guys. Now we're actually on our PC. Fantastic. Yeah, buddy. Fifth, no pressure, bro. Don't miss a frag.
I've never done this before. I'm not an observer.
Quick, change spots, bro. Change spots.
Oh, wait, what are we watching? Okay.
We're watching Olaf. He's playing over at Plateau. JW is going to find NBK. We don't have the mini-map right now.
Yeah,
so
why do I not have the mini-map?
bring up the big map.
Wait, okay.
All
Let's
right,
just do it like this.
So-
This is a lot better.
Apex, right? You know, hey, this is how you can do it as well, right? As well, Apex tries to push through A halls. He's going to get caught. Good passive hold there by fnatic to make sure that when Envy take the risk of trying to get the info, they're going to be ready and waiting to pick that shot up and just put more pressure on Envy, who are now so spread out across the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at Kenny. I mean, he has to make a move here with the off as well, going very aggressive. And for Happy and Keo, I mean, Happy's really low as also. He has the op. So in this situation for Envy, it's all about Keo. He needs to get the 1 or 2 frags entries here and then just try and hold with Happy getting the op kills. Because Kenny he needs to take a gamble here, and he's so far out, right?
Yeah, and Dennis is creating such a great diversion. Kenny is calling for the rotation. His mates are heading over to the A side, and that's the wrong place to be. Kiyoshima getting caught by JW, and fnatic, they push right behind it. And this is also coming off of Olafmeister. We saw it on the mini-map, right? That Keo gets flashed in, he peeks on Plateau, he doesn't see anybody there, because Olafmeister doesn't even take a shot. He just sits there, lets Keo think that this is empty, and then fnatic have an easy way onto that B site. No chance for Envy to actually come in and contest it. But this is just a round where nothing really worked for Envy. They got picked off one at a time.
Yeah, and as I was talking about before, right? You know, Kenny saving the weapon, but look at everyone else. Apex, 50 bucks. Happy is the one that has a lot of money in his bank, but MK, 200 bucks as well. Getting the loss bonus here, 1,400 bucks. They're, yeah, I mean, it's Envy. They're going to buy, probably. You know, they have an up. Well, now Kenny ends up going down as well, but I mean, this is what Envy's known for, right? They make the best of the money that they have. So we'll actually see Happy straight up buying CZ and armor and an aid. So he was the one with the most money, though, so it does make sense. But as for everyone else, this actually, for Envy, I'm never surprised when they end up buying. And now they're actually taking their calm. They're in the lead. You don't have to throw away more rounds. You just, you know, save. Let's just do one eco, and then we can buy the rifles, right?
Exactly. We can get in on the FAMASs, you know, try and go for some kind of mix. And, well, for EnVy as well, it's good that you say that they're in the lead because they do have 6 rounds on the CT side already. And how you usually see, you know, Cobble break these days is like 9-6, right, going towards the T side. So now it's all gravy for EnVy. Whatever they can get past this point is going to be nothing but good. So
yeah.
Happy he's gone ahead and invested a little bit here, and they're going for the gamble as well. EnVy stacking up on that B site, making sure that fnatic, well, they're going to pay if they try and come through here.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the stack here from EnVy. Keo, great position. We do have the mollies, and that's where, I mean, that's the whole area where you tend to Molotov off. So Keo's going to be stuck in a bad position unless he just tries to dodge it. Because EnVy, again, very good positioning. If they end up going B here, they're very fast on the rotate.
It's Kenny's position that's nasty as well, because with those Molotovs, you can get rid of the player up on big box, unless you just want to challenge him straight up, which is, it looks like that's a risk that Olofmeister's willing to take right now. They know that they've lost drop-down room now, it looks like, and Olofmeister's going to push forward. He takes out Apex. Shot from Keo with the dig, though. He's going to take out Dennis. But then 3 kills coming in quickly there for fnatic, and they should be able to get control of this site, although Happy lurking by Connector is going to pick up the kill on Crims. Flusha comes back, and now Happy stuck between a rock and a hard place. Still taking that fight. JW with the wall bang, though, is going to get the job done. But, yeah. I mean, still, good damage dealt there by EnVy.
Oh yeah, for sure, and thankfully our observer is back, because I was having a very hard time. I didn't even have the minimap. I was like, what am I doing here? Props to our observers, obviously, because that's way harder than it looks.
It's not an easy job.
No, they're doing a great job, and I would not be wanting to be in their shoes, because obviously I'm horrible. I think I missed every single frag.
And we have the minimap again too.
Yeah,
it's like really hard as well, you know.
Yeah,
when you don't have the minimap.
I don't. Yeah. It's all good.
I mean, you know, guys, we're actually going to look at CS the way it's supposed to be, off the scoreboard and the big map. You know, it doesn't matter how the frags happen.
Exactly, right?
There you go, guys. You know, just a little bit of perspective, change of perspective.
Yeah, and again here, you know, EnVy decided to save the next round. We are talking about a double save here, where, you know, you do have Happy with the C-set and armor, but Kenny getting the entry and the AK.
It's not too bad, but then, man, Olofmeister's just there to ruin that. Keo, Apex getting picked off. Crims immediately pushes into drop-down room, get that pressure onto NBK, and he's ready for Happy this time. No surprise for Crims. He's going to be able to pick up that kill fairly easily. And now it comes down to Kenny, hoping to get a lucky shot through, but Crims just shuts him down.
Yeah, fnatic only losing 1 member. Crims, great job by him. Do you hear the music, by the way?
Yeah, I still have the music in my ears. I'm wondering if that's going out onto the stream or not.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, I'm getting a little bit more. Yeah, I'm getting super hot over here.
You're always super hot, bro.
You smell good, someone.
Really?
Yeah, no, I like how you smell.
It's the French side, you know, it's in the genes. Best of both worlds.
Yeah,
right.
But here we go. I mean, we have the full buy on EnVy now. Kenny has with the op. He only has a smoke grenade though, and
yeah,
that's what he's known for.
But yeah, exactly. Him with that AWP, that's all you want. It's Apex staying alone on the A site though, so this is all on Apex, and he's pushing into lower. Exactly, pushing into ramp just to see if he can spot anybody out in underpass. In the meantime, it's still 4 players stacked up on this B site. This is an early play coming in from EnVy, and it looks like Kenny managed to get the leg shot onto Olofmeister, who was trying to go for the spray, and again, the shot through. Not going to get it, though, Kenny, and he gets dropped down to 42, so he's got to be a little bit careful now as far as how hard he wants to challenge. Keo has the option to go up on a plateau, though. He could go for that play, but doesn't look like he wants to. Might be playing it a bit more passively here.
I mean, when you have 4 members on the B bomb side here, you want to lure them in, kind of like how EnVyUs did in the middle on their eco, right? Or so you lure them into the little trap, and then you set up for a great crossfire, and you just lock the site down.
I mean, 40 seconds left, and they've still got a decent nade count. NBK still has a smoke to use as well. So that could go up on a plateau if they really wanted to try and mess with fnatic a little bit more. Instead, they're trying to set up the crossfire here, EnVy. fnatic have been putting a lot of attention onto drop-down room, and they've been pretty successful so far. So it looks like EnVy are going to finally try and figure out how to deal with this. Both smokes going down to block it out, and JW has nowhere to go. Flashes as well. And while the bomb is going to get down into drop, and is this really, like, EnVy, they get baited into a rotation. Double kill coming in for JW. He catches Kenny and Happy both out in connector. And Kiyoshima, he will find the kill. And somehow Apex and NBK, like, they're holding the line. Somehow EnVy, they make up for all of this. Crims, though, is still going to get a double kill and a bomb plant. And we're into a 1v1 now. Kiyoshima rotates into a nade, gets dunked, down to 11 HP. And Crims, he's still looking really good here. He's actually going aggressive. He wants to get up close. He's hearing the steps. He goes for the pre-fire. And now will not get the shot. Keo He had only one shot. He had to hit the headshot, and he pulls it off, just barely.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to call, like, for fnatic, they're taking their sweet time. Looked like a little Navi round there with 20 seconds left to go. Ends up, you know, bomb going down, and Crims saving the round to begin with, and then leaving it to 1-on-1, getting the bomb down, and headshotting Kiyoshima through the little truck. Great luck by Kiyoshima. Like you said, he needs to get that headshot, and he did.
Only option, right? Like if he goes for a body shot, Crims is wrecking him. Like, he only had 11 HP there. But that is a huge round for them to win. Now EnVy get up to 7 rounds. They keep that pressure up on fnatic. fnatic, though, they've got great money. They can still afford to get whatever they want. And I'm surprised to see JW even going for an AWP here. We haven't seen this yet. So a little bit of the pressure early on here on the plateau. Switches it up with Olafmeister. But the smoke's going down pretty much makes this ineffective. So you got to wonder.
Yeah, I mean, you know, EnVy's been doing a great job throughout this half. They've lost 4 rounds in total, but 2 of them were when they were saving, right? So far, very good seed side from EnVy.
Yeah, they really have actually. I mean, they found the confidence somehow.
Yeah, man, you look at the setup, right? They believe in Kenny, they believe in Apex. You just hold the A bombs up by themselves, so they can keep the 4 guys complete. You don't even see the rotate coming in at all from EnVy. Just keeping the 4 members around the B bomb site.
Well, the change, yeah, exactly, and the change is also like Apex and Kenny not pushing as aggressively as they did yesterday versus Liquid on the CT side, where they were really constantly pushing into underpass, trying to challenge. We've only seen Apex go for a couple of pushes this time, and that when he already had the info, perhaps that fnatic weren't there. Now fnatic just going to go straight out onto the plateau. Very cut and dried sort of approach here from them. They're looking to find somebody out of position here for EnVy, but Kiyoshima holding so passively. Happy close to the box, and NBK Kyo both getting the first kills. Dennis somehow finds the headshot on Kiyoshima, but this is going to be too good here for EnVy. They play it perfectly in the end, and they even deny the bomb plant.
And look at the difference this round compared to the other A hits that fnatic did when they were, you know, down 1 member. Olaf ended up going down entry in the former round, and then the positioning that EnVy had on the A bomb side or the B bomb side was horrible. Compared to this round, this was great. Kiyoshima got their frag, ended up pushing back, and NBK got the frag. You know, they were helping each other. You didn't see that the previous round, so they are getting in the groove now. EnVy with yet another round. fnatic can still buy though.
And I was just thinking this, like EnVy, they've got to be wondering when fnatic are going to try and change it up and go towards that A site. And so now they're actually going for a bit more of a catch-all approach. They had Kenny on the A site early, there to support Apex, and only the 3 players on B. So this turns into that game of chicken now, which Cobblestone, I mean, sometimes it does. Like Luminosity and DreamHack Winter, they literally hit B site like 13 times, apart from like 2, you know, A rounds that they threw in there just to mess with their opponents, because it turns into a guessing game. Yep. You keep hitting B, and you keep forcing Happy to guess, okay, when are they going A? When are they going A? And what do I call for to be in position to deal with that? Yeah,
I mean, the calls are like, okay, well, they haven't gone in for like a few rounds, watch out for A. And then you end up doing that every round and just become paranoid, right? You don't play your own game. You're trying to adapt to theirs.
You're trying to predict.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tricky game. You know, sometimes it doesn't really work out. So we have a different setup here for EnVy so far. Kyo boosted up on the box. That is a go-to. NBK playing support basically for him, making sure that Drop has at least 1 pair of eyes on it. And fnatic, they continue to wait, but Crims has got down into drop-down room. So he is in position. Nice flash there onto Crims. Unfortunately, no follow-up there from EnVy.
And Dennis just running up mid here.
They're doing it once again, so they don't have the info apart from Dennis. And then he hits a beautiful headshot onto Kenny. NBK not expecting the second man in there, so Crims picks up an easy shot on him. Dennis pushes into connector, takes out Happy. It's going to be Kiyoshima just caught in a crossfire on the A side. He gets overwhelmed, and now it's down to Kenny, the last man alive. But with 6 seconds left, that bomb gets planted, and there's nothing he can do. He's too far away. He needs to save this AWP.
Yeah, 1-on-3. Look at all the nades he has. He has everything. You don't want to give this up, right? fnatic, it was a great round by fnatic. EnVy playing it very passive that round. Danny's just coming straight up mid, forcing the rotate coming in from EnVy. EnVy already had 2 members on the A bomb side, forced another one, gets the member on the A bomb side, and then the rotation came in, and fnatic just took advantage of it right away. He just hit the B bomb side, got the bomb down. Only 1 member from EnVy trying to hold that position, right? And then for Kenny, you know, he's forced to save.
All right, he's just going to sit here with that smoke. No problem at all for him.
Yeah, and EnVy's still money is still very low. I mean, you have around 3.2k coming in from pretty much every single member from the EnVyUs side, except for Happy. He had 2.1. He already bought, as he said, and that's it.
Yeah, it's I mean, EnVy are still they should still be feeling pretty good going into these last 2 rounds of the half. You know, they go for a half, just a half by playing off of Kenny's op in this round. and then they'll be able to set up for at least a decent 15th round. But now this is where Fnatic decide to pull the trigger for the A site. They've changed it up. They get into underpass very quickly here. Apex is going to be right on the other side of this smoke. He sees JW coming. Thank you, sir, for that AK. And he knows that a second man is there as well. He gets through the smoke somehow. Apex is making this work up in the A halls. And Kenny got the pick on Olafmeister, who was on underpass as well. So Fnatic, they decide to change up their game, and they get punished hard.
Yeah, great job by Apex, actually staying alive. Oh,
Well,
jinxed.
Crims is not having that. Well, let's see, we have the rotation coming in. They've spotted the bomb. Envy, they know that this play is coming through. And this is all down to Dennis. He was so successful in the last round, and he's going to find the kill on Kenny again. Double kill for him. Wiped out in the blink of an eye. Envy, they have nothing left on the A site. They're going to be able to get this bomb plant now, Fnatic. And it comes down to NBK and Kiyoshima rotating in, and, well, just Kiyo now. Last time he was able to pull this off, it was a 1v1, but this time he has an AK to hold on to. He has the Kevlar as well. This would be a great gun for him to save for the next round. And long spray battle with Dennis, wins it, but Flusha's close. He's got 10 bullets left. Can he stay alive? No. Crims is there to catch the angle. And it's going to be 6 rounds on the board for Fnatic.
Yeah, Dan is so smart there, just walking up all the way left side of the truck. Ends up getting team flashed. I was like, okay, let's hope that he doesn't actually spray it. Look at this. Both of the EnVyUs players are just trying to have crossfire towards the bomb side, not really paying any attention towards the CT spawn. Saved them. Fnatic saved Dennis saved them the round there. I mean, if he didn't do that, they would just end up losing.
Twice. I mean,
yeah.
He's having such an impact on that A site. The round before that, the pick onto Kenny, that started the rotation.
Yeah.
Well, Envy, they're getting wrecked by Dennis. So at this point, Happy again with the boost. And he does get punished for it in the end. Drop down. NBK takes some shrapnel damage as well.
And JW doing JW things.
Yeah, he's going to be happy about this. With that sawn off, if they're already low, nearly takes out NBK. Happy there to take out Olafmeister. That was on plateau. And the push begins here for Fnatic. They've committed to this. Bomb is going to make its way out. Crims is there to take out Kiyoshima. JW up close takes out NBK. And it's now a man advantage for Fnatic going onto the site. And they're just dominating at this point. Envy, they can't seem to put a stop to this. Apex, though, 1-2. That's the best that he'll do. And it's going to be down to Kenny in a 1v2 now, rotating over from that A site. And not the best weapon either, just a FAMAS. So Crims and Dennis, do they realize this? So far, it looks like they're thinking that this might be a plateau play, but they did plant safe, and then they peeked together. Nothing Kenny could do.
Yeah, I mean, great plant there as well, just playing it safe, right? I mean, if you had plant regularly there, Kenny could have just potentially just killed off the bomb planter, leaving it in a 1-on-1, and then you have the box to work with, just being very sneaky. So I think overall, I mean, for Fnatic, it was looking really bad in the beginning. It was Envy was 6-1 up, and then Fnatic just clawing it back into it. 8-7 for Envy, moving into their T side now. And I mean, yeah, you know, Dennis again with a 2-kill. He saved Fnatic this whole half.
Yeah, I think so as well. As far as Crims is concerned, yeah, sure, he came close. He had like some good kills, good plays. Olafmeister, strangely enough, was a little silent, it seems, not having that huge impact that we kind of expect from him. Only sitting on the 8 frags, whereas the rest of his teammates are in double digits. But then I guess if he's taking point on plateau every time, he was the one going to get picked off or at least be at risk.
I mean, look at this, three nades coming in from Fnatic.
Are they expecting the straight rush? Or do they put these nades straight into plateau? No, they put them double nade up into drop. Clever stuff. That's a nice change. And yeah, well, as far as Fnatic are concerned now, they've also gone for a bit of the catch-all. They threw in just a little bit of a trick there with the HEs, but then they spread out across the map, and now they're just really trying to figure out who they can spot. And while 2 guys spotted here for Flusha, that should be enough of an indication. And the rotation is going to start coming through here. Man into Connector. JW misses his shot, and he's going to lose control of Connector at this point. Happy, he can pressure. He can stop this rotation cold. 3 players sitting on the other side of this, and Happy, he's got control of the situation. First spray, spots 1 going into Connector. The second man could follow, but he takes out JW, and now they're in a perfect spot here. Olafmeister is going to end that, though, and Crims takes out Happy as well. So despite having the info, Envy aren't able to capitalize. Kenny staying alive behind the big box, and that's going to leave Crims now in a 1v2. He's got the kit, but he has no Kevlar, and he just has to hit headshots at this point, or he's going to get overwhelmed, and it's not meant to be. Kenny will find the last kill of the pistol.
Yeah, Fnatic actually take a gamble there. I mean, 3 nades and not really armor, and then you saw, as soon as the first Fnatic member went down, Flusha was all alone on that B-bomb side, just getting swarmed by EnVyUs players. You know, it was a little bit too close in at the mid stages of the bomb plant there when EnVyUs decided to push. You don't need to do that. You end up losing 2 members, leaving in a 2-2, and then for the remaining 2 EnVyUs players, you know, they managed to hold. But you know, yeah, I understand you want to be aggressive, you want to show no mercy, yada yada yada. But when you have the bomb down, you want to play it safe, right? You want to make sure that you have your grounds covered. You don't have to rush to your death.
Yeah, you have your angles, right? And Happy had it. I mean, Happy also, I mean, the way that it worked out with Fnatic's setup, he was holding off 3 guys from rotating onto that B site just by sitting at window. That was nasty stuff. This is just going to be the 4 spot coming up from Fnatic. No surprise there. And well, they are getting punished for it a little bit. They get just pummeled and dropped. Keo just launches himself onto Dennis, takes him out right off the bat. And now it's going to be Crimson JW. Crim's in a bit of a clever spot though. He will win versus Keo. But now there's the info. They figured out where one of these players is going from, and Happy, he's in connector. If JW runs, he's close enough to hear that. And yeah, JW stepping. So Happy's going to be in a prime spot here to get the backstab if he wants.
Yeah, and he didn't get a single frag this eco, so I mean, he's
hungry,
hunting.
man.
Yep.
This is not acceptable.
Where are they? I need the last 2 guys.
There we go. There we go. The
okay,
gangsta.
I got one. I'm happy. You guys can have him now.
He's like, where my stats at? Where my stats at?
Oh.
Scary, JW.
He's like, hold. It's fine.
JW's movement is so just beautiful.
It's nasty, especially on like, I don't know if you saw the clip on Dust 2 where he just basically gets boosted up cat, just bunny jumps down towards the box, gets the kill and just jumps away. It's like, what?
I love it, man. Him and Forrest both. Like, Forrest has also got some of that old movement coming back where he just glides.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the movement, hard to hit. And for Envy, I mean, you have both situations here for Envy where you end up winning they won both the pistols and they have not really lost a single eco yet. So, and that's great from Envy.
That is impressive.
3-0 in the beginning of the match, and then now moving into their T side, I mean 2-0, potentially just about to win the 3rd one as well. So it's basically 6 free rounds that you get from winning the pistol.
That's their map to lose at this point.
Oh yeah,
for sure. That's it. They have the advantage there. They've had it. Flusha, doing Flusha things. He's just gonna wait. Ah, surprise! And NBK's fast enough to shut him down, but that was close. You gotta love it when Flusha's one of those players who's just got the best trigger discipline in the game. Like he just reads the situation so well. And well, he lays a trap, but if he had a P250, if he had anything apart from a USP there, that man was dead 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, look at this.
So nasty.
Yeah. And here we go. First weapon round coming in from Fnatic. No kit on any Fnatic parameters. You know, they do have the smokes. Not a lot of flashes to work with. So now it's just all about pure aim. Making sure that Envy, they don't get a side. They don't get a side. Just work together here. We can't really help you with flashbangs. You just, you know, hit some headshots.
Yeah, and Flusha, he's okay. So again, catch-all approach. They haven't figured out which way Envy want to go yet. If they want to get towards that A site early on, or if it is going to be the all-out B approach here from the Frenchman. So Flusha, Olafmeister hanging out over on the A site. Flusha, though, he's starting to get an inkling. He's going to start moving around here. He hasn't heard anything just yet. So it is going to come over here towards the B side. And Olafmeister, he's holding close to connector so he can rotate quick. But JW in a bit of a tricky spot up close. Turned away to avoid the flashes. He's waiting for the call, and there it is. He peeks out, picks up one, and the flash just doesn't work for him. He's not going to get a second one. Kenny instead is going to wreck both defenders, and then Happy coming in from drop picks up another. But the damage is done. Kenny's only got 24 HP here. He's got the AK, so if he gets the headshots, it's going to be possible. But there's the smoke, and he's trying to force Fnatic's hand. Nice pop flash, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to actually capitalize off of it. Flusha peeks out and removes him.
Fnatic actually does this so well. Look at the difference between Fnatic and Envy on their CT side here, right? Fnatic are just playing with 3 members on the B-bomb side, managed to hold anyway, whereas Envy needs all 4. So what is the difference there? Well, you saw their little sneak position coming in from JW. He only got that one. That I think it was a team flash that happened, after he got the first one.
Yeah.
Ends up falling, and then overall, Olafmeister with 2 great kills. Yeah. It's just they just managed to hold EnVyUs away for the amount of time that Olafmeister requires to be able to rotate back and help out his team, right? Great job with the flashes that they only had as well. They only had like what, 2-3 flashes on the B-bomb side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so light on nades to begin with.
Yeah, it was a great hold. Envy with another approach now, just instead of going B, trying to take over mid a little bit.
I think that's where it gets worrisome for Envy as well. I mean, they're not going to really notice who gets the frags, but Olafmeister getting 2. He's had a bit of a slow start on the T side, so if he starts to wake up here, it could get nasty for the Frenchies. But NBK is going to remove Flusha, and Olafmeister up close holding. He spots it. He knows the information now from Flusha that at least one player is going to be pushing through here. Apex not expecting him to be that close, and double kill for Olafmeister. Picks off one of the flanks, and now Envy, they're going to be in a bit of a worrisome situation here. Point blank shot from Olafmeister. He's not going to miss that one. That was gifted to him. And now it's all on Kiyoshima in a 1v3 again. He just keeps finding himself in these 1v3 situations. And if you can find the pick on Olafmeister, but the timing doesn't work, and now it's pretty much a lost opportunity. Exactly. He gets the wallbang onto Olaf, so that works out. Olaf nearly landing the first shot himself. But now Keo, he's got 30 seconds to find the second man, and Crims just peeks out from under balcony. Just a bit of an off angle there to catch him out.
Yeah, and I actually think you just nail it there. I don't think they're paying attention. You don't really pay attention to who kills you when you're playing the game. But when Olafmeister gets, I mean, here, 3 kills here from Olafmeister, and the second one there was just nasty, right?
Yeah.
So if he comes into play as well, Dennis is already, you know, playing really well for his team. If you get Olafmeister on point as well, it's going to be very difficult for EnVy here.
Well, he ended the half at like 8 frags, and now he's up to 14.
Yeah.
So, you know, just EnVy aren't thinking about it, but that's something that you guys at home should be definitely keeping an eye on. Is the Olafmeister train about to leave the station?
Mm-hmm. And EnVy with it's a half fight here. No nades, but you know they have one flashbang, AK Galil and Tech9s. Let's see what we can do with it here. I mean, you only have that one flash for basically, you know, to explode onto a bomb site.
Mm-hmm. So it's all into timing here. Kenny, he's going to have that ready to go. And they are getting right close. And there we go. Kenny's going to just try and put it deep. This is just, you know, the catch-all approach with this flash. Nothing tricky. Just put it out onto the site.
Look at the difference here for Fnatic now. You know, JW playing very aggressive last round when they hit B. Now very defensive. Just making sure that, yeah, okay, leave him the bomb site if you want to, but you have Dennis there waiting for him as well.
And they're just, it's going to be such a hard shot to hit for EnVy with the pistols. They have to get in here, and they have to hit the shots immediately, and Crims is going to just tap away, pick up the one, gets overwhelmed in the end, and Dennis, he gets caught. It just falls apart so quickly, despite the good start for Fnatic and the ideal positioning. They aren't able to capitalize. Happy, though, in drop, going to get caught out by JW, but that bomb is planted now in EnVy. They have 2 guns to work with on top of the P250 for Kenny. Kenny can actually just sack himself. He can get in here, look for the angle, and there we go. Some shots going into Flusha. But Flusha comes right back and takes out Kiyoshima. So 2-on-2 now. And the deep nade going, and there's the flash. Kenny, though, not going to get the kill. JW just barely lives it. NBK somehow NBK whiffs it. They both have kits, so Fnatic, they have all the time for the defuse. But that is not what I expect to see from NBK. He is usually the man who's just so consistent in those kinds of situations for EnVy, just hitting that 100% shot. And this time, he wasn't able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic taking their sweet time. JW and Flush are just working together, getting flash forward. I mean, the flash didn't even hit Kenny. Ends up going down. NBK is the one. It's the person with the weapon. He should be the one taking the long distance duels, not the ones with the pistol, right? You want to, again, I would say that was EnVy's round to lose there, right there. Yeah, Fnatic, great retake, but it would have never happened if EnVy just played a little bit more safe, right?
Yeah, I think it's the first start where Happy decides to peek out from Connector. You get that blood up, you're just looking for that easy frag, right? Because JW's not looking, but then the fact that JW pulls a 180, takes out Happy, he doesn't have to worry about his back anymore. He can just focus on the site. And well, he had a fantastic round. 3 kills for JW to bring it back. The last 2 in the round as well. And now, well, Flusha looking to get lucky through that smoke. Not going to hit the timing, but that nade is going to be pretty good. Does a little bit of damage there to Apex. So that's going to be frustrating.
Same thing here again from EnVy, just taking over mid.
Yeah,
Probably have the approach where I was like, well, Olafmeister got 3 that round. You know, we had it in the bag.
Exactly.
Let's just try the same thing again.
And this time they catch out Flusha.
Yeah. Same
Once
thing,
again,
actually
same
happened
thing.
again, yeah.
Olaf, though, he's going to change it up. You got to love it. Last time he was sitting in front of apartments. This time he goes into underpass, but this time Keo wins the duel. So Olafmeister show, it's over, and they stack up for Kenny. He knows the second man is below balcony as well, so no cheap shots coming in from Crims this time. Just hard frags. Double kill for him, but it's not going to be enough. Well, yeah, now for JW, it's a bit of a tall task. He spots the man close, at least, and gets a nice shot onto Happy. But a 1v2 crossfire situation and a fresh smoke going down that's going to funnel him onto balcony.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Fnatic's money, he shouldn't really go for this. Just try and maybe get one more kill and just run away. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea from EnVy where they're like, well, we tried it 2 rounds ago. It didn't really work out because Olafmeister, you know, he did a good job. He got 3 kills. He's not going to do it again. You're getting Flusha, the entry once more, leaving a 5-4 situation for EnVy, and then Olafmeister just ends up going down. And also, I mean, the team kill on Dennis from Crims. So yeah, I mean, because even though EnVy didn't win the force buy last round, they did so much economical damage to Fnatic, getting 3 kills, getting the bomb down. So now look at the money from Fnatic, right? they have nothing. They only have JW to work with here with the AK and a flashbang. So I wonder if we're going to see like maybe a cheeky boost here. Hopefully EnVy will be ready for it.
And yeah, and we saw that yesterday, actually. Happy's got a really nice boost at the back, you know. But then Happy is going for the counter, exactly.
Yep.
This is what we saw yesterday. Happy's like, I dare you to boost. I double dog dare you.
I wonder if they actually thought about that, because you did see the little tendency there. It's like, oh, boost me. It's like, wait a minute. I remember. I saw Happy's boost yesterday. That's not good.
That's, yeah, exactly. This is just thinking on your feet.
Yeah.
You got to love it. And this is all off of info, exactly. You know, it's all off of info that you gathered throughout the matches yesterday. And so good little detail there for JW to be aware of, and he's not going to fall for the trap. Instead, it's going to be EnVy, once again focusing on the A site. They've had success with it so far, so why change it up? This time, however, Crims is going to start things off by taking out NBK. So already the change in situation. Oh, so it's Crims and Olaf holding over on the A site, the deadly duo. Flusha's actually playing connector now, so that might throw EnVy for a little bit of a loop, because they're like, why is Crims over here? Is it a stack? Is that what we're about to walk into? The mind game's working, and JW is going to get a kill on Keo, and Happy's taking a lot of damage. Apex as well, down to 22. They still have the rifle advantage, EnVy, but they're so low versus pistols. They are vulnerable. Olafmeister peeks out with that USB, and he spots out Apex. And the smoke on connector there to block it off, but Kenny decides to press forward. He picks up the first one. He has no idea that Flusha's close, however. And Flusha, he's just waiting for that timing.
I'm surprised Happy didn't actually run up with him, because he's the one with the Molotov. He could just basically Molotov off the little drop zone there on the A bomb side, over their little balcony. Instead, he keeps it, maybe use it for the bomb if they were to change the site and defuse.
It seems like he's going to get rewarded at least for holding the back line. No possible flank from Olaf, and Kenny, he wins the duel versus JW. That's the AK down. So you see Flusha dart forward to pick that up, but at this point, it's all about just keeping them on the side as long as possible. Maybe you get lucky and Kenny goes up with the bomb, but that's just not going to happen. EnVy, they're going to be able to back off and save 3 guns.
Yeah, it was actually, if Crims would have gotten that kill there on one more kill onto the A-bomb side, I mean, EnVy would just end up losing ground. They actually took a gamble there. fnatic was just leaving Crims there all by himself. He ends up going down, and then for Apex, taking control anyway. I mean, he was low. He had 38 HP, I think, left. Ends up just storming the bomb site anyway, getting a few shots on the balcony guy, and just getting control. If he wouldn't have done that, fnatic would just be able to rotate, get the bomb site under control, and you potentially would have just ended up losing the round, right? So great job by Apex.
I think that's also quick thinking from EnVy, because Keo getting picked off on Plateau, you may think, oh no, he died. Well, that's silly, but he spotted 2 players on the B site when he died.
And he spotted JW with AK.
So it's just like, okay, EnVy, they just got that info. Crims might have thrown them for a loop at the beginning, but Keo dying and getting the info like that probably saved EnVy in that round. So just all devil in the details, right? Devil in the details, and well, fnatic, they want to go for the, well, they just go for the force here. They've got the 3 rifles, a shotgun on JW, but that works out just fine for him. And a UMP on Flusha, who is also one of like the SMG masters in this game.
Yeah, we do see. They also have two kits and 2 mollies as well, so...
Well,
that's the position from Flusha, though. When you have an SMG, you don't want to really hold like that, because you will just end potentially...
well, you got Olafmeister here to make up for it. Easy as that. 3 kills for Olaf. Makes it look good. And Keo with the double spray brings it back. Olafmeister just close enough to save it, though. But Keo, he did the best that he could. He just wasn't able to bring it back that time.
I love the teamwork from fnatic. Okay, Flusha, just go and die, and then I'm just going to get a full kill.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have an SMG. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry about it. Don't do any damage whatsoever. It's okay.
That's the first big round we've had from Olaf in a while, though. You know, he got to that 14, and you start to think about it, okay, as a beginning, and you know, he's having these big rounds where it's just like 3K, 4K.
Yeah, but we need the 1K, 2K rounds where he's just like very silent but doing damage.
Where he's consistent. But this is, I mean, this is the opportunity here for fnatic. EnVy are willing to go for the buy. So they have some Tech 9s. They're going to play off that AK here on Apex, and they have some nades as well. So let's see if they can actually get something out of this. JW holding close with the swag. This might be a bit of a problem. Because as they come around that corner, Kiyoshima, he's going to be, well, a face full of bullets, really. And there we go. Flash is out. JW completely flashed. Perfect flash timing. 2 kills there. They spot Crims at the back of the penthouse as well, and Kenny's going to find the wall bang on him. So EnVyUs, just this is why B side is just a nightmare for CT. They come rushing out, and with good coordination, you just get overwhelmed so quickly if the first man doesn't have an impact.
so much of a gamble though from JW. I don't know if he expected Envy to just save or if they were just expecting like a regular buy. But his positioning after getting that flashbang, he did nothing, right? Just ends up going down, and he is basically the first line of defense on the B bomb. So when he goes down, everything just falls to place for Envy. And Crims actually did not have enough money to actually buy a head armor. So you saw there, he actually got gushed.
He got gushed.
Back up B bomb side.
Oh no, Olaf, cheeky bugger. No save for him. Flush only the one here, saving with the AWP. But you're right. I mean, that's just like JW things, though, man. He does stuff sometimes.
I mean, it is a gamble. You know, that's the thing. That's what he's known for taking gambles. And at that round, it didn't really pay off. That flashbang just wrecked him. If the flashbang wouldn't have come, he wouldn't have gotten a 2-kill there.
Well, now it is going to be the force buy from fnatic to hold EnVyUs off of map point. And well, EnVyUs, they have everything they need. All of the rifles. Kenny isn't even going for an AWP. He's just willing to be fast, fleet-footed, get in there fast. And Envy, again, they're hoping for fnatic to make the mistake of trying to go aggressive. See, you see them spread out across A early on, and then it's the buddy system going into apartments to clear that out to see if they can find Flusha. But this time it's only Olafmeister holding over on the A side. fnatic decide to stack up 4 players on B. They really badly want to catch somebody out here on EnVyUs side, maybe get a rifle to work with. But Apex charging forward, he's going to clear out the initial halls. Nice pop flash from Kenny, or rather from Olafmeister. That forces Kenny back, but that doesn't really give too much information apart from, okay, there's a man over here holding close. And Apex, he might be in for a bit of a rude surprise here. No, not going to run forward. No nades in hand. Olafmeister, you got a free kill that one time, but it's not going to happen again. Envy instead are going to change things up with 40 seconds left on the clock, and the timing is perfect. Keo peeks out, picks off Flusha, and now this is where it could all fall apart. Double spray for Keo, and he's still alive, and now he's got the AWP. He could be looking at the connector, but a smoke goes down to block him off. In the meantime, however, his teammates are getting wrecked. Dennis comes in and gets a kill, but then he gets caught, and it's all down to Olafmeister rotating over from the A site. And he's coming in through drop. So 3 players alive here for Envy. They've got control of the site, and I think Apex just spotted Olaf. No luck for Olaf. Had he come in just a split second later, he might have had the element of surprise there, but now Envy, they know exactly where he's playing from.
Yeah, and great job by Envy. Apex actually taking so much control of the A hallway, where Olafmeister is like, oh, there's people here, yeah, so you gotta rotate back. And fnatic actually taking the gamble again, second-guessing themselves, because they did have the stack on the B bomb side, rotating 2 members more over towards A, and that's when you saw the push coming from Envy, getting Flusha completely off guard there. And look at the position now for all of fnatic side. They have no control of the bomb side. They're just about to get back there on time, right? So great job by Envy playing it very smart, and now you're in a point where they have match points. They have 4 match points.
Yeah, they have 4 map points, man.
Map points.
This is the best of 3. Just pointing that out, guys. Not best of 1 in the group phase. So, but this is perfect for Envy. And, well, just a complete and utter turnaround for them. A much better CT side from them from what we saw yesterday versus Liquid. And now on the T side, you're right, they're playing good, smart CS. And so, already keeping them guessing. Olafmeister right on the edge of this smoke, just putting shots through, hoping to get lucky. And it is a double play here from fnatic, but it's not going to matter. Flusha will be able to turn it back around, though. He takes out Kenny, then he's going to get punished by NBK. And now this is where Envy, they just grind fnatic out of this map. They're going to get control of all of these choke points. As Krim steps in, tries to do the best that he can, but it is a 1v3. And, well, he's only got the Deagle to work with. And, well, not a whole lot of health. Down to 7 HP here. And now Envy, they can get across, but it's not going to matter. Happy with the backstab in the end. Fitting end to this first map. And that is Envy going up 1-0 versus the Swedes, versus fnatic, the Gangstas. They got shut down.
Yeah, I mean, keep that in mind as well. Envy did a great job on pistol rounds. They won both. They won the anti-ecos coming into both pistol rounds. So it was technically 6 rounds there. As you were saying in the beginning of the last half there, it's EnVyUs game to lose, right? And they didn't. They played really good. And, you know, props to Sean Garris.
Yeah, props to Sean Garris. We doubted him. We doubted
him, you know.
He actually made the right call.
NACS.
But let's go ahead and head over now to the analyst. Let's hear from Sean and what he has to say. What went into that accurate read?
Thanks very much, boys. Not just Sean. Jason said it as well. They were suggesting that it was just Sean that made the correct call.
Someone never gives me any credit whatsoever. We're supposed to be teammates.
In your face.
We've got a 3v3 this weekend, and he's over here praising Sean like the newcomer to the squad.
Is this happening? And has the gauntlet been thrown down?
It's happening.
We have the 3v3 again.
It's happening.
So
well, we might have to have a new replacement for Semler if he's not going to be part of the team. You know, he's got to be committed.
Yeah.
He's like half French, and he's not quite there with us.
I mean, the European roster may be in trouble as well because Anders is currently unwell. By the way, guys, if you're wondering why he's absent on the couch, He has just been a bit under the weather, so hopefully we'll be having him back ASAP. But for now, we have to talk about this game. And I mean, a really great game to dissect. You guys had so much to say just throughout it. And I mean, the first point I want to bring up was that kind of, I'm going to describe it and dub it as a kooky couple of just pistols coming in from Envy.
Yeah, EnVy won both pistol rounds. They won that Eco round, I guess.
That
Eco round.
When that's the round
they heavy
I'm
stacked
talking
middle,
about.
and Happy just kind of sat back and baited everyone for a while. And even Fiddler was like, I would be so mad if I was a T and there was a third guy just hiding in that corner. And literally, I was just describing that to Jason. I was like, that's unreal that he stayed in that corner the entire fight.
If he doesn't win that round, that's the thing. Like with that style is like when you guys win it and when it looks successful, it's like great, good job, Happy. But like when they lose it, you're just like, why is he still baiting? Like that's the thing. It's like very precarious situation to be in. But I mean that round, the lead up to it, the pop flash, the one in danger stairs, the crossfire in mid was such a beautiful setup out of them. And I mean you got to imagine too. You look at if they don't win that round. I mean the half was 8-7. So if they don't win that round, they're looking at like a 6-9 half.
Yeah.
The good thing about it at the end of the day is, again, they get their start off fairly well for themselves, and that's what I think is important on a team like EnVyUs, is they get the gears grinding very early on in the match, and they can use that momentum to carry them through the rest of the half, which, again, is where they sort of struggled to some degree in yesterday's match on Cobble.
Well, even, dating back to some of the earlier French lineups, they're a team that's not known for doing well when they start tournaments in the morning. Their first matches of the day, if they're the first opening game, it's usually a little bit rough around the edges.
But this kind of warm-up kind of mindset, right, where they take some while to get into the groove and also to get their minds in check. Is that something that you've encountered as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Players do not like playing the early morning matches for sure.
They're grumpily, groggily getting up.
Especially if you have like a late match. But these guys played early yesterday. They should have no problem coming in the morning and playing the first match. EnVyUs definitely looked like the better team that match, but they also had a lot of holes. That match really could have gone either way. Every round was extremely close. Yeah. I think EnVyUs' T side right there won it for them. They won a couple force buys where they hit the B bomb site, but their A default was extremely strong. Olaf saved fnatic twice, I believe. Couple monster rounds. But EnVyUs kept doing this. Here it is right here. They just did a slow default towards the A halls. They'd molly off the close corner, flash off. They'd trap Flusha in the staircase in mid right here, and every time they would just pinch him from mid and halls. And this is what I was referring to. People don't recognize EnVyUs as this slow default team. And this is something new that they recently added to their arsenal, and they're extremely good at it. Like look at how they're clearing all these angles. They're double peeking, they're jiggle peeking, they're molotoving, they're flashing. They're pushing fnatic back into situations that they're not comfortable in.
Yeah, and especially Flusha in those halls. I mean, he got caught out like 2 or 3 rounds, and and like 2 of them were like back-to-back. Like back-to-back gun rounds where he got trapped like that by MBK, and that's when you, I think you either bring a second player there with him, or you just say, okay, Flusha, don't do that setup, don't go there. Yeah. I mean, you're just they isolated him so efficiently, and yeah, I mean, it was Olaf. I think he had 2 rounds there where he saves him with triple kills, and like that's not going to work every time.
Yeah. So what fnatic likes doing on CT side, which is what EnVyUs was taking advantage of, they play 3 people towards the B bomb site, and Olaf will spot mid early, smoke it, maybe look over the smoke for some info, and then go play in the connector. So EnVyUs, knowing that, can pinch Flusha in the halls round after round after round, and that's what they did.
And Flusha, of course, had a nightmare because of it. Yeah. He was really kind of struggling to make frags happen, especially on that side. Another point I wanted to raise, of course, was the JW discussion. Of course, such a prominent AWPer, however, on Cobble, he has this love of the shotguns. We saw, I mean, Mag 7, the sword off came out, the auto shotty came out.
He got a double kill with the auto shot.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what I'm saying. But like, I mean, why is no one else doing it if one of the players and one of the best teams in the world is running around with shotguns on Cobble?
I think you do see it a little bit more on CT side Cobble now.
I mean, yeah, you Mag 7 and drop.
It's one of those things where it's like, just one more tool if we want to have some kind of a force buy. It's not like you're severely hampered by having a shotgun. Very effective in that spot. Also, I mean, the way JW uses it so frequently, and even sometimes you see players using it even when they have money, is it just turns into a bank for the rest of your team. If anyone needs an AK-47, all of a sudden they have all this shotgun bonus money building up. So, I mean, it's a tool that's starting to get used more and more.
I think what was interesting as well, since we're on the topic of JW, we could discuss oppers a little bit more, was the op quite a few times on that CT side was getting tossed over away from JW, which again is understandable because the op can be to some degree a little bit more of an awkward weapon with the way that EnVyUs were playing their T side to some degree, but it doesn't go over to, I think you touched on this, it doesn't go over to Olafmeister, which you would consider, and we've seen it in other matches to where he can be a fairly capable fragger with an op, but it goes over to someone else instead.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. We have to, of course, then turn our attention to map 2. It's going to be on Inferno. So far, so you guys are on 100% prediction correctness. But talk to me about Inferno, how this one's going to play
I mean, this
out.
is where the gamble. This is a big gamble by Fnatic. That, I mean, dropping that first map and now they go into Inferno. Yeah, they're strong on it, but this is the map that Envy, it plays to their strengths. So they're so good on these force buys, so good on these half buys. We saw it against Fnatic on Cobble. They won a couple of them, but even if they don't win them, they're doing damage to the economy. They're putting in positions that when they do win that gun round, it's an immediate reset. It's an immediate economy is just shattered, and that's Envy's strength on Inferno. So, I mean, this is that gamble now that Fnatic's playing, where if they take Mirage on this map, you feel much more comfortable saying this is going to go to a third map. But I mean, Envy, this could be a 2-0 if Fnatic's not very careful, if they don't start out their CT side very strong.
A 2-0, Sean. What about you? Coming into Inferno, I mean, you've of course looked deeply into both these teams and how they structure their Inferno. Who do you feel has the edge?
I would definitely give the edge to EnVyUs again. I called before the series started to you guys. I thought it would be a 2-0. I don't like Inferno as a map pick for Fnatic. I think they would have been the favorites if they picked Mirage, in my opinion, or Dust 2 for that matter. So there's 2 maps they could have picked that they would have fared better on in my eyes than Inferno. So I think maybe they're testing the waters here maybe for later in the tournament, because I think they'll still manage to play EnVyUs later on in the tournament maybe. But this is not a good map pick for them.
Okay, so more mind games with these map picks as opposed to being the ideal setup, you'd say, for Fnatic. Calling it 2-0. What about you, man? Predictions and your...
I think actually, I think Thorin made a really good point on Twitter earlier when he mentioned that now Fnatic with this new roster, they're feeling a lot more power, and they used to be, again, really, really strong on a map like Inferno, and they're kind of going back to that now. They already have, at the moment, a currently flawless record on their CT side. T side is not so much, but with that kind of strength that they've been working with previously, I think this is why they've started to go over towards it. They're going to leave Mirage towards the third map.
Okay, so kind of confidence perhaps again. Blue representing... I just realized you are rocking a blue shirt today as well, dude. I don't know how it looks.
2 for 2.
It took me that long. Have you got a third blue shirt?
He thought this through.
Oh, okay.
Well,
just to clarify, I think you're under the impression I'm picking EnVyUs to win this map. I'm going to take Fnatic winning Inferno. I just think that that's the gamble that Fnatic's taking here. This is a very scary sequence of maps for them, but I think Fnatic's going to win it.
only one of us can get 100% of the matches right, Jason.
Only one.
He's very scared of saying 100%. Don't talk to him about 100% because he's like,
my 100% bet yesterday worked out well.
That's the first time.
It's only once.
The first time I've ever
and
heard
that was, I didn't call 100%. I said there's 0% chance. I went the other way.
I mean, okay, maths
like
is
that?
hard here on the sofa or couch, depending on what side of the pond you sit. For now, though, we're going to have a little look at what Envy had to say. We spoke to them earlier on.
I'm happy. I play for Team EnVyUs, and we've been together for almost 6 months. I think 2 opponents, I would say first LG, because we have a revenge to take on, and Fnatic, because there is always this kind of rivalry between us. It's always fun to play, and it's always interesting. Liquid had the roster change just 2 days before. I don't know what they will do, but it's not really good. And Conquest is a bit an underdog, so we don't really know what to expect from them. We made a roster change 6 months ago. We swapped 2 players with Titan. We have been pretty much successful since the beginning. Again, on paper, we are top 3 team in the world, so I'd say top 3.
You heard it there from the in-game leader himself. On paper, we are the best team in the world. And I mean, defending major champions, that's definitely what you need to do to prove your worth and to kind of make that very clear how you feel coming into this game. Of course, it's going to be 250,000 on the line during this this season, and they're going to be getting step by step closer as these maps continue. They have managed to get a little bit of a step in the right direction with that win on Cobble. Now we have to talk a little further about Inferno. So, you said already you studied both of them and you favor Envy on this one. Maybe you could just explain a little bit more about why you feel they have the edge, if that's not too complicated.
I don't think Fnatic has enough on their T side right now to grind out rounds against EnVyUs once their economy starts breaking down.
Okay.
I think EnVyUs does have a very predictable CT side as far as Fnatic knows the smoke timings that they're going to go by.
Right.
But they're still so hard to wait that out and get those opportunities, make sure everyone's in the right spots. And I don't know if Fnatic's been together long enough to do that right now.
So who in your book has like one of the strongest, or if not the strongest T-side on Inferno? Because this is something we've seen teams already, just at this event alone, have some trouble with. We've seen, you know, an abundance of CT rounds on Inferno, you know, stacking up to the double digits. What's a team that really is kind of proficient on T-side Inferno?
Honestly, EnVyUs.
Yeah,
EnVyUs.
right.
They have awesome
Okay.
A hits, B hits, rap hits, lane hits. Like they can go anywhere, which is why they're so dangerous on T-side.
It's not even their executions either. It just comes down to how good they are on eco rounds, on low economy rounds. They're just so talented with it, and that's something you have to be good at on T-side Inferno. Like even if they're not winning them, you have to be able to get those kills. And they're probably the best team at running through smokes. I mean, that's the thing. If they're ever going to execute through smokes, they love doing that. They did it at the major, and they just rolled all over Na'Vi, or not at Cluj, but in Cologne. So quite a ways back.
Oh, wow, a little while.
But I mean, it's also you know who else is a pretty decent T-side Inferno is Luminosity. Has a good T-side Inferno. Na'Vi has
Na'Vi too, yeah.
Yeah. The point you made before, Jason, when it was Conquest Fnatic on Inferno, you said Fnatic are just going to have, like, they said a stop sign everywhere, but explicitly you said they're going to make it very difficult to access.
It's going to be more of a
B.
yield sign against EnVyUs.
Yeah, exactly. But you said that it's, you know, B is going to be a site that they're just not allowed to go to. They're basically locked out of half the map. What's going to be different here? What are EnVy going to be doing that kind of counters this Fnatic? You said it was all-off and this kind of occasionally this double pairing as well.
Well, one thing EnVy does really, really well in the choke points on Inferno is the way they stagger flashbangs. So like throw a flash and like throw one half a second afterwards. So when the player turns to dodge that flashbang, he comes back after he hears it pop and there's a second one like half second later that doesn't even know it's coming. That's very good at just giving the, you know, Apex or Keo, the two guys coming in first, so, you know, just that little bit of time they need to adjust coming through the smoke, to grab vision, and to take their shot. So, you know, they're very good at things like that. And then, I mean, just like I mentioned, just they make, and this is something they mentioned when this team first started forming, and I'm not sure how much they're still sticking to it. You might be able to have some insight. Is, you know, Happy as this tactical leader, but they have Apex, who's like his right-hand man. So Apex, they said, was the one who makes the call, like when to actually execute. When he feels comfortable leading the way through that smoke, he's the one who's like, all right, right now, let's do it. It's not Happy saying, all right, go now.
Force. He's not being like thrown into the site when he's not comfortable. Right. He makes that call like, I'm ready now. This is it.
Like, or I feel like maybe the way a smoke lands, maybe the way it pops, maybe just if whatever sense he has, he's like, this is when I want to go, and everyone is on his hip. Like he's, and that's where you didn't see him, you know, back in like Titan, where he didn't feel confident that he was going to have people coming in and trading, and all of EnVy is just going in with him.
And most of EnVyUs too, just to go off on another point for a moment, most of EnVyUs are looking extremely strong. And another player, which I don't believe we've touched on as of yet, NBK, specifically on Cash yesterday versus Liquid, was like an absolute monster. I think he had like 80% of his kills were all completely accurate headshots that he managed to pull off onto his opponents. So on a map here like Inferno, where you do have those kind of tight angles to work against, like you're pushing in from B, you players at spools, you players sign up hiding behind first oranges and whatnot, that might be a little bit more difficult to take down initially. If NBK is going to bring that kind of accuracy into this game, that's just another factor which allows NBK to make that progress on the T side and eventually break down Fnatic's CT side.
I'm glad you mentioned NBK because he's one of those players when you think of like the best bomb site B holders on Inferno.
Yeah,
like NBK's
it's Crims and NBK.
Yeah, and I mean,
I would put Happy and NBK up against Olaf and Crims.
Would you?
On B side Inferno? Yeah, they're pretty much both the same.
I mean, yeah, NBK's just a beast in it. He's just one of those players that's like, all right, he's gonna get his.
Or, you know, just put a Deagle in Happy's hands and see what happens as well. I don't need to remind anyone about that one.
I would love to hear another Sumler cast. That cast was so brilliant at that round. I would love it.
The vocal cords just like, what on earth is happening?
Sounded like he was opening a Christmas present.
I'm just hoping to be blessed with Fiffler and controlling the cam again in game.
Oh, such incredible camera work, actually. Truly. You were just kind of really upset that you didn't know how to clear the smiley face.
Like, you could just click spacebar. He was just drawing over it.
He's old, in case you didn't hear that one. That was his statement. Right, boys, you've already made it clear your predictions, but just one more time, recap for everyone at home to let us know their predictions for this one. Starting with you then, Blue. In Blue.
It's going to be a tough one, but I think I'm going to stick with my original prediction that I was going to see, and I'll say Fnatic will take this one.
Okay. Going to see a third, Strong?
Nope. Envious.
Okay. Jason.
Fnatic.
Okay, so we two people on the desk, couch, love seat, whatever you want to call it, are thinking we're going to be seeing ourselves a third. And we're going to go ahead and the team to guide you through this one to see if we are going to see a third map is two men that need no introduction. Semler and Faflaren, take it away.
Thanks, Alex. Good looking out, bro. So let's get into this next map. It is going to be Inferno. I mean, Fifth, do you agree? Are the Swedes going to take it 2-1 over there? Sean's really got it after the French music, and he just loves them to death, apparently. Like,
Yeah,
he
right?
just does
And
not
I
want
just
to
want to point out, Sean, you're dead to me. How dare you touch Moses the way you just did? Can't believe you. I thought we had something. But yeah. What's that? They're making out now? What? What?
Oh my God.
Oh God, I can't
This is
believe
a
I just saw
public area, Sean. Keep it for the hotel later. Come on. We don't need to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, Moses is creamy and everything, but you know, that's just. I mean, and as a Swede, you gotta love the cream.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So where we go on Inferno, man?
It's so difficult to me. Like, if you compare like Fnatic to, I was calling them out during Fragmite Masters, where I have never seen Fnatic so flustered before, and then now ending up losing Cobblestone, you know, ending up losing both pistols. You still see like, it's so hard to call, especially now. Will this impact how Fnatic plays Inferno? You know, losing Cobblestone. Yeah, sure, it was EnVyUs map pick, but I'm sure they just want to get away with it, right? This is Fnatic's map pick though. It's Inferno. I kind of don't agree with the pick they did on Inferno, because it's not like EnVyUs are a bad team on it. Starting the CT side though, I do really want to see a third map. So I will actually call for Fnatic to win this one.
I want to see Mirage from EnVy.
Yeah.
Like, we really want to see what they've changed into it, because they started off strong on the map, then they started to experience some difficulties last few tournaments. You know, they've been losing it, so that's definitely going to be like a point of focus for them. We're like, okay, we need to fix Mirage, and like what little prac time we have. And they weren't at Fragmite, so they actually had some time. They weren't at San Jose either, so they've had some time to actually put some work into maps, try and patch things up. So Mirage would be a really interesting map to see between EnVy and Fnatic, because we know that Fnatic are solid on it. Now it comes down to whether EnVy have actually fixed whatever problems they had in the past.
Well, that was the thing, right? Fnatic, it was especially on Mirage that I commented on that they were very shaky. You saw, like, every single team, team kills, right? But in the fashion that Fnatic did, I mean, you saw double nade there, lack of... I wouldn't really call it communication, because the nade landed on a Fnatic member, he just ended up dying, right? But, like, going past someone else's crosshair when they're both shooting, it's like sloppy things, right? When you don't actually, it can happen, of course. But again and again, it wasn't just like, even if they didn't get the actual kill, it was a lot of team damage going on, and a very, very sloppy on the Fnatic end of Mirage, whereas, like you're saying, EnVyUs actually taking some time off to go through, each respective map again. It's like, we have stuff to work on. Let's just, forget about Fragment Masters, forget about IEM, just go in, focus, and let's win the last tournament of the year.
Yeah. That's really the goal here, guys. This is going to be the last big event, 250 grand on the line here in the prize pool. Both of these teams. I mean, Happy is, he's totally right to mention the rivalry between both of these teams. I mean, it's neck and neck between EnVy and Fnatic as to who's the best in the world right now, since Virtus Pro and TQM have kind of dropped off in the recent days. So this is it. This is to settle it all. Who is going to be dominant in the last event of 2015?
Exactly. Who's the best team at the later stages of 2000?
Yeah, and no jokes either. It's like no best of ones or whatever. It's like straight best of 3, best of 5 final if it gets that far. So there's a lot on the line here, guys, and the countdown has begun. Knife round has been sorted, and it looks like Fnatic will be starting on the CT side here of Inferno, with EnVy starting on the offense on that T side. So we're going to be fun to see exactly what they have in store for us here. But I expect a lot of Kevlar and a lot of just straight up pressure. Although what's interesting, already we can see Apex going for the nades for EnVy.
Yeah, that's...
So that means NBK is going to be taking point in this rush.
Which is kind of weird. I mean, especially if you don't plan on doing anything super fast, right? It's not like Apex is all the way in the end.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you got to think this is going to be B. Single smoke for CT, flash to clear out top banana, and then they're just going to rush right in. Olofmeister's so good at hitting headshots, but this time he's not going to pull it off. Crims dunks the nade in, does just a little bit of damage, but that's not going to stop EnVy. Smoke goes in to block off CT, and the jump shot from MBK to take out Crims. It is going to be down to Olofmeister now, and he gets overwhelmed. EnVy, they're just relentless at getting onto these sites. And of course, Happy hanging out, just waiting for that rotate. Easy frag for him, and just the action doesn't stop. They keep on pressuring here. Fnatic, they realize that they don't have time. They have to get in here, get the damage in, and Flusha starts off with one headshot. Might get another one here, trying to get that angle just right, but he's going to get run down by Happy. And a dominant pistol round here coming out for EnVy on their T side. Just no fear, straight up rush.
Yeah, getting the mid-air headshot on Crims there. I mean, they won the round from that, because otherwise, you know, Crims potentially maybe damage one person, but then he can rotate back and help Olafmeister, right? You would have the crossfire. Instead, he goes down and leaves Olafmeister all alone on the B bomb side. Yeah, he gets one, but then he's just gonna swarm. What happens then, you know? Envy, they have full control of the B bomb side. Bomb is down, and then for Fnatic members, it's just all about the retake, right? With no nades, and then it's really difficult. So yeah, Envy are starting strong.
Man, Envy though. 3 MAC-10s, an MP7, and a Galil versus a 4-step Fnatic. This could get scary. This could get just a little bit scary. I mean, the SMGs, they got the buff versus armor, but still.
You do have the gamble from Fnatic as well. 4 members on the A-bomb side.
They really want, and there you go, yeah. Smoke goes down to top Banana. That's going to set it up. Dennis starting off strong. He takes out Apex, and the fadeaway shot onto Kenny as well. And now Olafmeister's going to peek out, pick up MBK, and this is what I was worried about. I mean, they just get, well, picked off one at a time on Fnatic's side, or rather on Envy's side. At least Happy's going to be able to take out JW. But Fnatic, they hold strong. They have bomb control at top mid. And, well, it's going to come down to Happy and Kiyoshima, the last 2 alive here for the Frenchman. And, well, Happy's doing some work. He's managed to pick up 2 kills, so he's doing the best that he can here to regain control of the situation. But with 3 players sitting on the other side of that smoke, a Galil picked up, a CZ and a 5-7. Perfectly adequate, you know, weaponry to deal with the situation here for the Swedes.
I don't understand the Dennis that pushed into Boiler. You got the 2 entries. Yeah, bomb is down, but just play the bomb then. You're giving EnVyUs a way back into the round, right?
Smoke goes down to block off Arch. That's going to bait out a lot of shots. Now they have some information. They know that 2 players are playing over there for Fnatic. But they pick up the bomb, and Crims is the linchpin here. He has to hold, he has to do some damage, and he's not going to manage it. Happy with the headshot onto Crims. And Happy catches the rotate out of Olafmeister as well. It's all on flusha now. He finds the first headshot, and now it's going to come down to the second. Happy is low. He's got the quad kill so far. Happy, can he get the ace? And he will! Just the clutch at the end. Ace clutch for Happy. And what a comeback into it for Envy.
Yeah, I mean, Happy with 3 HP at the end there. But yeah, you see the replay here. I mean, Dennis, great job. The 2 entries there. 5-on-3, even now 2-on-5 here. Olafmeister's getting the 1. But then you see, I mean, Fnatic just throwing the round away. Happy with the first frag there, and then Dennis just rushes into Boiler. There's no point in that. You have the bomb. Just, I mean, have the 4 members stationed in mid, and just, you know, double boost on the roof there as well, and just take control. You don't have to push anything. You just throw it around, and Happy did a great job. You took advantage of the fact that Fnatic was playing very sloppy.
And he just keeps on rolling. Another kill for him, so that's 6. Let's just keep count of, you know, Happy, the beast. He's going to get those eco frags. He's going to stack it up nice and neat, and he's going to make a lot of money as well, because those 5 kills, well, 4 of them at least, were done with an SMG. Another one onto JW. That's 7 in a row. He's going to be sitting on so much cash at the end of this. And while Olafmeister can't really achieve too much here on the B side, he gets caught and flusha out of position. Can't really support too far away in CT with that P250. Now it comes down to flusha and Dennis just hoping to get lucky, get some exits. They still have to worry about Happy at their backs, though, but that's not going to be the main concern. Instead, it's Kenny with a nice double spray down. 2 headshots for him and a 3-0 lead now for Envy. And Envy, they haven't lost a pistol yet versus Fnatic.
Oh, actually, Happy rebought there, but he had some sick monies there. Let me tell you that. He has like 9.3K. Just a bunch of, it's like, guys, I have enough money for all of us. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to drop my SMG. Don't really care about that anymore.
Really surprised to see Apex hold on to the MP7, though.
I really like this approach, because what happens is you have 2 options. Either you go first, you know, you try and get a headshot or 2, or you just go like 3rd guy in, right? Because then if anyone from EnVyUs ends up dying, you can just replace the SMG anyway. Or here you go, all right? You know, you don't even have to upgrade. Apex will just run and get the AK now. There, bang.
Yeah.
You know, save some money.
That can work. That can work. And JW getting the kill with the Swag 7 as well. They even tried to counter that. Happy with the HE going in there. JW, if you're holding close, you're going to get some nade damage, but JW delayed it just long enough. Well, now this is really frustrating here for Envy. They have to worry about that 1-shot kill potential waiting around a corner, and JW's so good with it. There's the first shot, and he gets it. The fadeaway again onto Kenny, and the spray through the smoke from flusha takes out NBK, and that is a dominant pistol round, or rather, first rifle round coming out here for Fnatic. Luckily for Envy, they got the 3.
Yeah, as you were talking about, you know, JW always so aggressive, right? You kind of know what to expect from JW on every single map. The problem is that he's so, like, you know what to expect, but it's going to happen anyway, and then you're going to end up dying. You're like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, how can I die?
You look over at Happy, and he didn't look too happy, right? He was just like staring at his screen, like head off on the side. Well, nice trade here already to start JW. This is another like JW trademark, just going for that aggressive peek into alt mid. He gets picked off, and it's a trade. Apex manages to bring it back. So 4-on-4 situation, and this actually favors Envy. They haven't committed to a site. The bomb is still protected. Now they have all the map, and they are starting to get towards Banana as well, which is the next step in the process. Now they've got control of apartments. That works out fine. They don't see anything from Fnatic in mid, so get control of Banana, and then really ruin Fnatic's day, because then Fnatic are just like, where the hell are they going to hit?
Yeah, but that's the thing about like a good team and one of the better teams in the world, right?
Wow.
Whereas they take control of everything, so you always keep the CTs guessing.
What a ridiculous shot from MBK as well.
Yeah, saw that.
Ugh. And now, well, that's a problem. It's keeping 2 players over here for Fnatic. They know that MBK's up there, but they are clearing out mid, so this is key. Fnatic are trying to figure out if this is going to be a commit to the A site here from Envy, and that's just not going to be the case. Crims peeks out at the perfect time to take out Kenny, and Olofmeister finds NBK. So it's down to the 2 players here for Envy as they get up onto the B site. They will get the bomb plant, and now Fnatic can rotate in and just collapse onto this site. They have 3 kits to work with as well, but no nades to make their lives easier. And with the fresh smoke here from Kia, he can drop that down into Banana or CT if he wants, and it can get real tough here for Fnatic. They might have to try and push through. There's the flash to buy some more time. Smoke goes up, and Apex wins the key fight versus Crims. Now both players here for Fnatic getting, well, picked off one at a time. Apex with the double, and he's just going straight forward. Olofmeister, he's sticking it. Olofmeister's down to 2 seconds. 1, and Apex is there just in time. Quad kill for the entry fragger.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 was like with 8 HP or something, right? Yeah. That was silly. Great job by Apex. It was looking. I mean, EnVyUs read that completely right. You had the frag from MBK on the A bomb side. Beautiful work from him. Just leaving Crims all on the B bomb side. He had no nades. He only had this 1 flashbang, which he used to get away. He didn't really use it offensively. He just used it defensively, and you end up getting that, and then you end up, with a great round by Apex. And now you see another, force buy coming in from Fnatic, already 4-1 down. It's actually Olofmeister with the max 7 now.
Yeah, and Olof, he's pretty good with the one-shots. I mean, he can use that AWP when he wants to, so no reason he can't get some work out of the shotty.
Especially on the B bomb side, right? I mean, he's all alone there. You see Crims rotating back towards B now, but it's a really good position to have a max 7.
And you really, I mean, EnVyUs right now are being very systematic. You got to appreciate it. Get into mid, get into apartments. Okay, that's clear. Now go towards Banana. Now we have the map. Now we can go wherever we want. Like, this is a nightmare for Fnatic. They need to do something to challenge, or at least, try and slow Envy down in the early portions of the game, because if Envy gets so comfortable, if they have all of the map to play with, and this is where they're famous as well, that push through, it's going to come. And Olofmeister, he misses the first shot, but he gets the second one onto Kiyoshima. And then the flash there to slow down Envy, and this is where it gets rough. Olofmeister, 3 kills for him, and he nearly gets the 4th as well before getting taken out. Crims is there to solve that situation, and it's going to come down to Happy now. Last man here. He's got the bomb, but that's smoke, and he's going to get pushed. He's caught in the sandwich, and Fnatic come right back into it off the back of 3 kills with a shotgun from Olof.
Yeah, the timing there from Envy actually was a little bit sloppy. You saw look how flashed Olofmeister is here. 3 flashbangs just in his face. But they don't run in, right? So by the time he gets to C again, ends up getting the 3 kill, and then Crims helping him out. That's the beauty of the Max 7, right? When you have positionings like that, when you have the close quarters and you don't time it well enough, you're gonna end up falling. That's exactly the situation where you don't want it to happen.
Well, what's also interesting there, what's another detail that we get with the replay is like confirmation that all of Envy were actually just facing forward when they tried to run through that smoke as well. So they're all getting anti-flashed as well by what the Fnatic chuck 1 flash out, and they're all just flashed. They can't actually save Olof.
Yeah.
But okay, then a little bit of a moment there.
What just happened?
Not sure. Okay. No problem, just a bump in the road, but it's fine. And right now, man advantage here for Fnatic going into this anti-eco situation. And once again, Envy, this could get cheeky. Real close. Crims gets tagged down. Deagle Spray goes through. He takes the fight again with MBK. There's the accurate flash, and everybody turned around here for Envy, but then they give headshots to Crims like it's candy, and it's going to be down to Kenny and Happy. Last 2 alive. And there's the positional advantage, at least for Happy. He had the angle on Olaf, but he doesn't land the headshot, and Kenny just gets caught out by Crims. So this is where it starts to get a little scary, I think, for Envy. That's 2 really solid rounds coming out from Fnatic.
Yeah, and actually Flusher getting caught off guard, and Crims doing a great job in staying alive, getting the 2 kills, just rotating back, waiting for his teammates to come in and just mop the floor with Envy. And now you see, I mean, look at the buyout that Envy has. They don't have any money, so it's going to be a, kind of like a save. They have some deagles and some pistols, but that's about it. No nade, not even a flashbang to like try and expo flash in. This is just purely trying to do some damage onto Fnatic.
Flusher, he's got an accurate read of the situation. Double dunk straight onto And that's actually interesting. Well, this is because Olafmeister has that AWP. He's trying to be unpredictable. Was wondering what flusha was doing over on the B site to begin with. And that might be, I mean, a detail. If EnVy noticed, wait a second, flusha killed us with the nade, okay, that means that Olafmeister isn't there. Either there's 3 players on B or Olaf is somewhere else. But right now, at least, it's still just an eco situation. And flusha is going to hit the perfect timing. Good night, Happy. And an extra $600 go into flusha's pocket.
Yeah, and economy. I mean, especially on the seed side on Inferno, that's that's where you have the strong halves on seed side on Inferno when you build your economy up, when you get the mollies, when you get the smokes and everything you need. So fnatic, they're well on their way. You know, it's very important for them right now that Apex does not get a frag here. Just keep the economy in shape moving forward, because it's only the 8th round. And 7 more to go after this.
There's still plenty. Yeah, there's still plenty of time here. Well, there's the shot. That's just going to draw Apex out. Great shoulder peek. Not sure if the lamppost saved Olafmeister there. He's only getting tagged down low, down to 56. And no fadeaway shot there for Apex. He gets caught in the back by Crims. A little bit of a shake of the head there. A bit of frustration showing.
Yeah.
And NBK, yeah, of course he's going to go for the AK. Kenny not going for the aggressive T-side op either.
Yeah, he didn't have the money for it. Decided to end up going with, you know, the accessories instead. The nades do have 2 mollies on the EnVyUs side as well. Could probably be used to take control over Banana if they want to do it a little bit faster. Use the mollies on the truck and stuff, or even a BX cube when they, you know, to clear off the Olafmeister corner there with you saw on make 7.
Well, now it starts to get a little bit frustrating for EnVy as well, just because incendiaries, smokes, fnatic, they've got the money to get everything you need to just really ruin a terrorist day on this map. All these choke points now, and Olaf even sets up that smoke so that he has just a little bit of a gap. He's like, hey guys, take a peek. Nobody's here. It's fine. And, you know, there you go. NBK gets picked off. You see it coming. It's like a train wreck. You see it coming from a mile away. It's like, don't do it, NBK. Don't
it's like you're a mouse,
it.
you know, you just laid out a little cheese, little trap there. It's like, yeah, come get it.
NBK's taking a nibble.
You know, it's okay. It's okay. And snap! Boom, you're dead.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, 45 seconds, and EnVy, they want, no surprise that they want to go and say hello to the B site once again. They've had success on it, so they want to see if they can't get the job done once again. And with the nades and limited men, I mean, they have all, look at all these nades that they actually still have to work with here. This is pretty huge. And now you have all the nades. 3 nades intentionally being shown, and yeah, it's a fake. I mean, they are looking exactly fnatic. The huge over-rotation. This is a catastrophe. They actually just, they saw the 3 nades and just looked at that base value. Because Crims is sitting up there and he's looking over the roof. When that comes through, he isn't even peeking the entrance of Banana. He's just sitting watching the roof to see how nades come over. He sees 3 nades come in. He's calling for the rotation right away.
I mean, that round, I mean, I would love to see you don't even have to look at the frags in that round. Just show replay of the nade work there and look at the rotation from fnatic. I mean, Olafmeister, they are saving this round. Major point for fnatic there, and this is a basic 101, right? For everyone. If you play the seed side on any map and you think, and your teammates are calling, they're coming here, there's always the one person, so on Inferno on A, the person holding apartments, you stay until you see the bomb. You do not rotate, and fnatic did that. Everyone rotated, left the bomb side completely open. So it's a little bit stressful there. I mean, you need to stay, because you need to at least have one more person there just waiting, and if that hit occurs, then you can at least try and get, you know, flashbang or 2.
We get no replay. Okay, well, it's all right.
Maybe next round.
We're not going to throw production under the bus, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
no, I mean, that was great display of, you know, a perfect fake from EnVy, and didn't even have someone running into the side, right? You just nades over, great smokes, flashbangs, flash 1, and then you see the call. It's like, beep, 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 beep.
That deep nade count. Yeah, that is brutal. All right, well, fnatic, that's going to rock them a little bit. That's really going to make them just a little leery. And that's actually going, I mean, this is another step where now EnVy can take advantage of that, where it's just like, well, they're not going to rotate too quickly now because we might be faking them. That's another, just a little step in the mind game there that Happy gets to work with now.
And that's the thing, you know, the beauty of it, right? So that you can potentially just do the same round now, but actually hit B, and then you will probably see like 1 or 2 members of fnatic not actually rotating until they actually do see the bomb this round.
Yeah, exactly. Brutal. All right. Now this is going to get real fun. EnVy 5 rounds on the T side, so already they're looking good as far as their T rounds are concerned. But of course they want more, and it's up to fnatic to stop them. And Olafmeister once again has that AWP, and he's just chilling out here in mid. Don't think that he'll get a free pick again here through the smoke, but he wants to try and get that aggressive pick onto Boiler. And he's just waiting. There's the flash. falls back. They get control of the situation. He goes for the repeat, and he's going to get the point-blank shot. What a shot from Olaf. Shuts down Apex immediately. And well, they are still trying to set this up for an arch split. It looks like they wanted to go towards B. Envy, 30 seconds left. That bomb is waiting right at the entrance, and NBK can't get the job done, and they're just getting slaughtered across the map. The Frenchmen, they can't get anything going their way at all in this round. Just completely obliterated.
Yeah, I mean, the point-blank shot from Olafmeister there just really wrecked EnVyUs round. We're planning on doing a B split there, but they just got stopped.
It's almost to the point where Kenny needs to just either die or, yeah, get away. Get up into the apartments and hope that you can actually live through this.
I think it's the amount of money you have. You want to save this if you can.
He gets a parting shot onto Dennis. And he's actually going to be able to survive this round. So, success. At least as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, as for Fnatic, I mean, only losing that one member you see there, their economy is building up. This is the point blank. That shot there, right there, and then you see when you rotate back, NBK actually thought that Olafmeister just rotated back to library, but then you casually do, Flusher rotating back from B, covering his back. And again, Crimps got a frag onto B bomb side as well. Everything just fell apart for MB that round.
Yeah, they were really trying to, well, they were trying to change things up, go for a little bit of a split.
Yeah.
And this time it just doesn't work out for them, so that's going to set them back, but not too far. I mean, they still had enough money to get an AK on Kyoshima, and the rest of them are just going to force up with the Tech 9s, and we all know that EnVy are one of the best goddamn Tech 9 playing teams in the world.
Yeah, they do have all the nades for it as well, so you will probably see a very well-coordinated execute here from EnVy. Smoke off one side and just flash over and just storm the side.
And that's the idea here. Dennis, he's about to have a bit of a rude awakening. Flash in, full flash on him. He is going to be able to make it back to the site, however. So they don't get a free kill. Instead, it's Flusher right through the smoke, looking for the likely angle there, and he does do some damage. But now EnVy, they've got control of top mid, and they can really keep Fnatic guessing. And there is a push coming in at bottom banana as well. Olafmeister's still holding, and he doesn't see anybody. So the 4 players here on Fnatic, they're going to stay solid. They're just going to wait for the Frenchman to come in. And there it is. Perfect peek from Dennis. He spots the first man, and he's going to be able to take that battle with the second as well, but he loses it. Happy comes out ahead, and it's falling apart. Somehow Fnatic, they make the right call, and they just get run over anyway.
4 members on the A bomb side again, and we got going down.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, MBK getting the entry there in apartments. Once you get that, it's just like go, 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 go. You end up jumping down. Dennis missing a very important spray on the second person in mid. Ends up going down as well. And by at that point in time, it's just game over.
Yeah, he really had to stay alive at all costs there. Thought that Happy was dead for sure, but
this is a very important round now coming in. Fnatic low on money. If anyone else win this round, there will probably big possibility that they will end up winning the half.
Mm-hmm. That they'll just come out ahead. You're right. Yeah, they've spent everything, Fnatic, so this is it. If they get forced into an eco situation, well, EnVy are just going to get far too many rounds. Already 6 rounds is pushing it on the T side. 9-6 best case scenario for Fnatic. That is the outmost limit. They cannot allow EnVy to get any further than this. And EnVy, they're waiting. They're wondering if there's going to be some kind of act of desperation out of Fnatic trying to peek somewhere aggressively, but Fnatic are still content to just sit and wait. Nice little dunk nade there onto NBK. Doesn't do quite as much damage as I thought it would, but still. Drops him down to 88.
Fnatic playing very with their nades now. Look at the B bomb side, Cruz just baiting at Olafmeister. Doesn't really want to rotate. A little bit nervous now on the Fnatic side. Here we go.
And there it is. Apex, fair trade. Dennis, though, this wombo combo. He comes in, and he shuts him down on short. Happy, he's the only one now alive in a 1v2. Luckily for him, he can pick up that bomb. And he's just hoping that somebody was waiting around, overextending. Instead, it's going to be Crimson Olaf rotating in from that B site, and Happy, he's willing to take that fight. He is brave, but they're playing it very carefully, Fnatic. Olaf doesn't overextend, and, well, just lands a clean headshot on Happy in the end.
Yeah, Dennis throughout this series has been quite quiet this half so far. I mean, you saw the previous round where he ends up missing the spray, but you saw on Cobblestone as well. A lot of rounds where he actually ends up saving Fnatic the round. Fnatic ended up losing 2 members. Olafmeister was very slow on the rotate from the B bomb side. You see here, this is where Olaf starts to rotate if you look at the radar. And then Dennis here, bombs it up. Yeah, he saves them completely. If he ends up going down, Olafmeister and Crimps just ends up saving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they aren't even through CT to Arch yet. By the time he peeks forward on short to have saved the day. Both B-side players as well sitting at the top. Olafmeister with a good half so far, 14-2-6, but still, they need to wake up a little bit here, Fnatic. They need to shut it down the remaining 3 rounds in this half, and this is another force coming out of EnVy. With the 2 Tech 9s, a P90 on Kyoshima, double AK, a little bit light on the nades, but still they have a couple Molotovs, they have some smokes, so they have the necessities at least. And while JW, he's changing it up. He's decided not to go for the challenge in apartments or in short. Instead, he's just waiting up here on balcony. Really nasty spot from him. So even if the smoke goes down, the flashes, etc., if he plays it right, he can still pick somebody off a short. But, oh my god, MBK just comes right through. Takes his face off. Flusha and Dennis, they try to do the best they can. And while Flusha, he's going to get flanked by Happy. And the timing, it's impeccable so far. Still, a 2-on-2 with Kenny just managing to get in here. He's got half HP. Bomb is on the site with Apex. And now it comes down to this deadly duo. Apex and Kenny work so well together versus Crims and Olofmeister. And this is going to be it. Crims with the AWP, which is very interesting considering Olof is alive. But Crims and Olof pushing forward. Olof right on the edge. Kenny trying to bait that shot out. He gets some info. And Olof, they're going to push together as a unit. And there it is. Olof with the first kill on Apex. It's all on Kenny now. And he needs to just buy time. Smoke is going to go down. And Crims, he's got a kid. He can get on here. And he is. He's hoping that the angle is going to be right, but it's not good enough. Kenny just finds the shot. And they get shut down. 7 rounds for Envy now.
I mean, again, JW designed to play a little bit more safe, but when you see the nade coming in the way it is, EnVyUs knows the angle you must take to throw that nade. Just ends up straying through the smoke, gets him, and then you see the push again. He's like, well, let's go. Bang. It's exactly the same thing with the other force buy. Exactly the same thing happened. On the 2 versus 2, though, Olofmeister had all the nades. He had Molotovs, he had smokes. Didn't use any of it. Use them all. You know where he is, right? It's Molotov and Mouse. Smoke the side already if you want to, but use the nades before you end up going down, right? Because then otherwise you lose that, leaving Crimson in a kind of awkward spot.
Yeah, once Olof gets picked, then it's going to be real tough. But, I mean, now it's just the force buy. This is the full-out YOLO desperation force buy coming in from fnatic, and it's not going their way. Apex is there to take out JW up close. Not sure if they spotted the second man. Dennis was able to fall back just fast enough. So Envy don't manage to pick up 2 kills, but Happy is still waiting. He knows. And Flusha likes to play that angle. Flusha, though, somehow looks like he managed to make it out of there in one piece. And that's a little bit surprising. Happy not usually one to pass up on frags like that. But it is going to be over here on the B site. And Envy, they are setting up to push through that smoke once again. Here comes the flash, here comes the play, and just the what a shot from Keo, just jumping through full Hollywood. Straight on top of Crims. Flusha still, though, man, with that CZ75, you can never count him out. He gets the headshot onto Kenny, but they are going to be pushing in. Just 3 players left alive here for fnatic. No kit. Olaf with an AK, but he gets headshot with that nade, so there's some info. They know that somebody's playing close flowers, and now, well, Envy, there's no way that they're going to lose control of this situation. fnatic, they're just going to be backing off, trying to save their gear.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even have kits this round, and as for money's, as for money's worth, they have nothing. So save the round and just try and buy what you can next round. But EnVyUs throughout this series now, or throughout this half, has been playing great. Read the game completely, Happy, doing a great job in the middle as well, just keeping track of where they are. You saw that the round just now as well, where Crims is all alone on the B bomb side, gets smoked off with a P250, Kiyoshima with the 180 headshot, MOG bang. Not really that much to do, and the fnatic playing somewhat sloppy. Yeah, they do take the gambles, but one of the things to notice that the person that takes the most gambles on this team is normally JW, not right, and he's not getting the payout for it this half so far.
No, he is playing very safe. You're right. It's not something that we're used to seeing from him. I mean, it does feel like it's been a long time since we've seen JW with the crazy peeks through smokes, etc. But you really do, that's his role on the team, is to sow confusion in the ranks of Envy.
Yeah, and right, you just cause havoc. If you end up going down, I mean, that's a thing for fnatic that they have never really worried too much about it. If you go down, then we'll just get pushed somewhere else to get the kill for you.
Well, this comes down to fnatic now just biding their time. Nothing crazy from them again. They just sit and wait and hope that Envy, make a mistake. But again, Envy, they're going with what worked last time. NBK waiting right on the edge. Dennis is trying to take a quick peek into Boiler. He will get some info there. And Apex didn't spot him on short, but instead they're just so quickly out of apartments. Ridiculously fast. The A site just destroyed. And now it's going to come down to Crims rotating in. Olofmeister bottom mid with that AK, which has done nothing for him. And Happy is close enough to go for the peek, take the fight. He loses it, but that's important information for Apex to come in for the cleanup. 2 kills for him. And Envy come out ahead 9-6 on their T side of Inferno. Fantastic scoreline here at the end of the first half for the Frenchmen. Yeah,
and so far this whole game, Envy, they're 3-0 in pistol rounds. They're 9 rounds, because they have not yet lost the eco, right? So they're essentially 9 rounds up, just counting pistol rounds throughout these 2 maps.
And surviving, I mean, well, fnatic, the nightmare for them is going to be that 2v5. That 2v5
yeah.
round where they could have shut down Envy early on.
Yep.
They had him dead to rights, and they managed to throw it away somehow.
But you know, this is where Vugo should come into play as well. It's like, guys, you have the advantage. Don't do anything stupid. Just wait.
Just calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually one thing as well that which is very recent here for Nex. But Nex, the manager behind Envy, what you notice is he's shouting out to the players when it comes down to like a 2v3 or a 1v3 or 3-on-3. He's like 4v3, and he says it loud enough to go over everybody else's comms so that they just know, oh, okay, 4v3.
Yeah. This
is how we play it. Don't throw it away. That's an interesting little detail there from a manager who's more of a manager and not a coach. You know, he's more here for the players'
Yeah, but
well-being.
it's very easy to keep track of. If you're just sitting there and you're watching the game, as for as a player, you have so much other things to keep in mind, right? To keep track of, just the small details, because there will be a time, let's say you get flashed, right, and your team just ends up killing someone. Maybe you don't pay attention, and then you don't realize that there, say 3 members left instead of 4, and that makes a massive difference. Same with like calling out, for example, how you hold when the bomb is planted, like the crossfires and stuff. It's like, well, guys, okay. Say Kenny, he's holding banana. You're holding cores.
Yeah, Vugo. This is where I also wonder, like what the impact is for Vugo going into this new roster of fnatic, Flusha calling as well, because you used to have the impression that with him and Pronax, they were the ones breaking down everything, and then Vugo is there to call the timeouts, or at least that's what I remember. That he is the one who's like, okay, we're losing control of the situation, call the timeout. But then why isn't Vugo calling a timeout here, right? Like why isn't he stepping in and just saying, okay, boys,
yeah, but
we've lost control, slow it down.
And it also puts more pressure on Vugo as well, right? Because you don't have that second guy. It's just like spending more time and doing the tackler approach, where you have more of a free spirit kind of approach now from fnatic when you have Flusha calling, more
laissez-faire sort of situation here.
Yeah, right. So then again, important round for fnatic. Are they just gonna not end up winning a single pistol round this whole game, or will that actually come to play for once?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that is additional pressure on them right now. Not having won a single pistol, that's not pleasant.
Yeah, no nades on fnatic side either.
Nice little double peek there in Banana, though. They nearly catch out NBK. And, of course, NBK and Happy just playing Happy in the usual little bait spot. It's so funny. You can just watch for Happy. Like, Happy's just sitting here waiting, like, NBK, you bait for me, I'm going to just wreck them when they try and push in. And it's all going to work out. They have no idea that Happy is waiting in that corner right now. The only people that they've seen Fnatic, is NBK. And well, Kiyoshima manages to catch out Olaf Meister. I believe that was in, well, it might have been in Apartments.
It was up mid, I think. Maybe it was Apartments, yeah. He ends up getting headshotted.
Well, here we go. It's the moment, and Dennis is going to step in and manage to get the headshot onto Apex, jumping, and it is a split on B. No hesitation here, straight for Fnatic, and now this is a nightmare for the two players over on the A side. They have to worry about somebody lagging behind in CT, laying a trap for him. Happy has to hit the headshot here, and he's not going to do it. JW is there to wipe him out. It's all on NBK now, who starts off strong. 2 headshots, could get a third as well, but he's staying alive, doing the best that he can, and buying valuable seconds for his teammates to rotate in. So it's a 2-on-2 now, and Kenny taking point. He's got the kit, he's got the USP. Keo is so low on HP, and he's going to drop immediately. JW's there, and now Kenny, he's caught in a crossfire. He's trying to press forward, but there's a man in flowers and a man behind new boxes, and he knows. First headshot in. And there's the tap, and there's the stick, and what is going to happen? It is sitting for the moment, and the angle isn't right! JW can't hit the headshot fast enough.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean,
look at this.
You do such a great job and take the bomb side, despite the fact that MBK gets 2 nice headshots. And I mean, that's just a killer right there, It just comes into show, it's like, oh, you're defusing the bomb, hitbox is a little bit wacky, you're aiming towards the head, nothing actually happens, and then you end up losing the round, and that's a killer, right? I mean, 4 pistol rounds out of 4 just lost for Fnatic, and you're not going to win games like that.
No. Or, I mean, it's like you lose the pistols, but you really need to get the follow-up here. And they don't go for the force. They get the bomb plant.
Yeah, because now it's nervous, right? You get the bomb down, and I actually don't know why did JW... Okay, well, yeah, he had a lot more money than the others.
He got those 3 kills, so he would have had like a bonus $900 to work with. Apex is going to get rid of Olaf, though.
It's still weird. It's still a weird buy to me. Like, you don't want to do that. You get $900. Yeah, that's extra nades for you to come into next round. Right?
Or an AWP.
Yeah, or an AWP as well. Yeah. Instead, you probably you play out of frustration and you just want more kills because you have a very bad CT half, and you end up buying when you really shouldn't.
Well, Keo is ridiculous with that auto shotty, but there is a bit of a mistake here being made. NBK, again, you're right though. They're thinking that it's going to be the A side, but NBK sits on that B side, doesn't rotate off until the bomb is shown. And it works out perfectly for Envy. fnatic, well, with their backs to the wall, they're going to be a little light on money because they didn't get many kills in the last round.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, just look at the money JW had. He had 4,850 bucks. If he wanted to, if he didn't buy the armor and stuff the previous round, he could have an AWP, he can have armor on top of that, he can have a smoke. Instead, you know, you end up, yeah, you have all the nades and stuff, and this is the timer coming in for fnatic, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is going to be the pause called by
yeah,
Flusha.
I mean, that's good. Good. I mean, coming into this round, losing the pistol, getting the bomb plant, and then now this is the first weapon round you have to work with. Maybe it's a little bit too early because you haven't really seen the setup that EnVyUs will actually approach with on their CT side. But I think it's a good call here to at least use it. You didn't really see it that they used it on Cobblestone at all, essentially. So.
No, that is actually a bit of an issue. The teams, I mean, they and just so everybody is aware, you do get a pause, you get that timeout when you want it. Teams haven't really been using it too much. So now, at least when fnatic, they figure, well, we've got 6 rounds, boys. We've got a long way ahead of us. Glad to see that they remember to actually slow down the pace a little bit here. Of course, EnVyUs are going to be just thinking about it, you know, what's going to come at them as well. Bit of a guessing game for Envy, so it's going to be curious to see what they decide to go with. And Kiyoshima is actually going to hold on to that auto shotgun. This is ridiculous. Apex with the MP7, okay. We saw the same thing.
Yeah, but he had a great spawn. Kiyoshima had a great spawn. You might probably see a very aggressive apartments play here from Kiyoshima.
He is going down there. Bit of the JW play. There's the smoke. Trying to make it look like, not the best smoke, but trying to make it look like, you know, this is standard default stuff. Nobody waiting here with a shotgun. What's up, what's up, Crims? What? Olafmeister up on the balcony? Is he Batman? The hell is that? Batman. Dude, he just came out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't even expecting that. Kiyoshima definitely wasn't. Okay, then. Well, Apex is going to spot in mid. Kenny there to follow it up, and this is a nightmare for fnatic. They're down to 3 players. They do bring it back, though. JW able to find Kenny, so 3 on 3, but the nade advantage is there for Envy. All players gathered up for fnatic, looking towards that A site now, and they're in Boiler. Apex is going to peek for info. Spots out one man, drops Olaf low. And then Happy, just doing Happy things. He could peek out and just completely wreck JW. There it is. Easy kill for him. And now they know he's got control of mid. If Olafmeister decides to peek out, Olafmeister, he has to get out of there. HE goes in, and the timing is right. But the bullets will do the trick for Envy, and the 12th round goes their way.
Great teamwork from Envy there. 3 versus 3. You saw Happy in the corner. He calls for a flash from Apex. Here, look the flash there on radar. As soon as the flash hits, Happy peeks. You know, great teamwork there coming in. I mean, he would have killed him anyway, right? But let's say you actually had someone a little bit further back that was actually holding the corner. He would have potentially gotten that one as well, right? So, great round from Envy. They're playing really well right now. And fnatic, they don't have an answer to it.
I mean, this is a totally different beast from the Envy we saw yesterday versus Liquid. And, you know, if you were doubting them a little bit, I mean, this is really impressive stuff. And versus a fnatic that they looked dominant versus Conquest, but they weren't really challenged versus Conquest. So it was a little bit of a question mark going into this match when it came to fnatic. What exactly are they going to be able to pull off? What kind of shape are they going to be in versus, well, a top 2 team in the world? So now it is the force from fnatic. They're just going all out. They have to.
Yeah, mollies and everything. We'll probably see fnatic rotating back towards the B bomb side here and just a Molotov in the smoke round. Unless it's a... Oh, here we go. Yeah.
The push begins straight through, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. And now NBK peeks out, spots out one, and he's going to play it safe. Exactly. Falls back through the smoke, gets back into construction, and he's going to be able to wait for his teammates to rotate in. Now Apex is here to support. And now with the man advantage here, Envy should be able to execute this retake. They do have an AK on Dennis. There are a couple of nades, actually. Olafmeister with that smoke, just waiting before he throws it out there. Some reason Kyo decides to push through alone, so he's going to get picked off free by JW. And we're into a 3-on-3. Envy, this is their situation to take over here. It's fnatic's to lose, and there's the first shot. But again, 1-for-1 trade. Olaf, though, just barely gets the kill on Apex. And now it's all on Kenny, and he knows that Olaf is low. But there's the smoke, and it's just going to have to work out. Nope, Olafmeister not going to get the shot, and Kenny has the kit, and just enough time for the defuse. Again, Envy are going to be able to pull this off.
Yeah, Olafmeister really doesn't have that much to work with there. 4 HP left. Kenny has thrown the smoke away. And you saw a little tap on the bomb, like he has to take a gamble. And Kenny, as like you're saying, he knew it was low. Ends up just killing him through the smoke. Win around. And that was a complete force up from fnatic. Yeah, they get the bomb down, so they do have AKs this round. 2, 3 smoke grenades and 4 flashes to work with. It's cutting it close now, so.
Oh, yeah. They need to get the bomb plant again, though.
Yeah.
If they don't get a bomb plant, I mean, then it's just like we're looking at a Tech 9 buy again from Fnatic. It's just they have 3 rounds now, Envy, from match point.
Look at how Envy's playing.
What is this, though? Kenny on the edge, and he's going to take out Dennis. Kiyoshima's there. Crims tries to bring it back for Fnatic, but it's just not going to work. Instead, it's Olafmeister stepping in, picking up a big kill, and now he knows that Kenny's on the site, but Kenny's too quick for him with that 5-7, and Kenny, just a big round from the French Opper. 3 kills for him, all of them key.
And look at EnVyUs the first round, like the first few seconds of the round. They just put NBK completely on the B bombs. They didn't even bother putting 2 in the beginning. 4 right away on the A bombs. Like Kenny has with 3 massive kills. I mean, this is looking extremely bad for Fnatic right now.
It's like, yeah, okay, you don't want to call it over, but right now Fnatic are just looking like they've mentally checked out. Just straight YOLO rush up A, nothing coming from it. They get slapped. And well, now they're going to spread out. They are going to spread out for a bit more of a default approach here. Happy, though, behind. Perfect flash again. And now Crims has to back off. He has to worry about the crossfire potential. He's looking for the pre-fire there, but the timing just is not going to work. But Happy decides to go forward, and he gives himself up to JW. He spots 2, but then he doesn't see the bomb, so it's still a bit of a tricky spot here for Envy.
Do have control at the, yeah, like you're saying, tricky spot for Envy. Forcing to have 2 players on B, 2 players on A. But Kenny, though.
Yeah, and that's it. Envy have to go for the information peak. They need to back up on what Happy is saying, and Kenny decides to peek mid, and with that AWP, he strikes down 1 Fnatic player.
I don't like this approach from Apex. You know, you're 4 on 3, just play the bomb size, right? 2 on B, 2 on A.
He's trying to listen.
He's very close, though, yeah, and he does have 2 flashes, so if they come towards B, you will see flash coming from Apex.
He's got to be quick. Well, there's the confirmation. And NBK falls? NBK doesn't get a kill. He's been so consistent, and there's the weakness. He goes charging it. No, and Apex, the big play. Double kill for him, and it's going to be down to Crims. 1v2 now, and the rotation is going to be coming through, but they have the nades here on Envy to make Crims' life a little bit difficult. No smokes, but the flashes are going to go charging in. Perfect flash, and now they know exactly where Crims is playing from. Hiroshima even going so far for the pre-aim, but it's going to be Kenny with the wall bang, and a match point now for Envy, and a whole lot of them.
You know that Fnatic are having issues when they lose rounds like that. That's like rounds that Fnatic can never lose, right? Especially when NBK ends up going down, overextending a little bit on the B bomb side. Normally the whole concept there is for NBK to be stationed. Once he sees someone, he rotates back and lets Apex flash for him, and then you re-peek it. Now he ends up going down. Apex just basically storms through the smoke and gets the 2 kills.
Yeah, what a play from Apex. Yeah. I mean, he just went in there. He hit that timing perfectly. Well, now for Fnatic, again, just buy. And I mean, you got the bomb plant, so they actually have a pretty respectable one. They have a few nades to work with, but Happy, this is some disrespect. He's just going for the same thing over again.
I mean, it's 9 match points for
like, why not take the risk?
Yeah. You have a lot of room to work with.
And well, so far at least, we'll see here how it develops. As Fnatic, they do get control of apartments. So again, methodical play coming out here from Fnatic. Control of apartments, control of, well, at least top mid. And they have a man sitting in Banana waiting to see if there's going to be anything crazy coming out of Envy over there.
He only has a smoke as well, so it's not going to be able to like even try to remotely pull off a fake. I like this from Kenny.
This is where it's nasty. And there's the first, but JW's there. Excellent. Apex holding close, and again, trade frag. This is working for Fnatic if they can keep that momentum up. Olaf is low, though, so Kiyoshima, he's the point man, but he's going to decide to fall back to the site. Rotation is already coming out here from his teammates. And Fnatic, they aren't committed quite yet. They're still just hanging around in mid. And that's where Envy realized they start to send NBK back to the B site. There is an option here for Fnatic to fall back, but it's running out. 30 seconds left, and it looks like they will be committing. They're waiting for Happy to peek in for info, and it's all a team kill from Dennis. They had it all right there. The team kill from Dennis, and with 20 seconds left, they aren't going to attempt the shenanigans. They're going to wrap back over to A, and it's all on Kiyoshima. Can he find that headshot? Yes, he can. First one down. Flusha is gone. Now it's all on Dennis. 21 HP, 10 seconds left. He needs to get the kill or the bomb plant, and he's looking for the bomb. He wants to play that 1v2, and he won't get wall banged down, but there's a chance. It's a slim one, but he can pull this off. He has to get a kill fast when Envy commit to the site. They spot him out. They get the info, but Keo plays it safe, and he gets the kill in the end. Keo with the clutch, or at least the solid hold on the A site to finish it, and a 2-0 win for Envy here in the upper bracket match of the group.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing great CS, something that we haven't seen from them since the Major, actually. And yeah, they put down some solid work, and again, Fnatic losing 4 piss rounds out of 4, not really playing great Counterstrike overall. I mean, EnVyUs just completely outplayed them. You saw there again and again where EnVyUs had, you know, solid rounds, even fakes, and just Fnatic fell for all of it.
Yeah, Fnatic. I mean, that one big over-rotate on him. I mean,
I really want to see. I hope that the
tell.
couch talks about that as well if we have like a replay, because that just comes to show how flustered Fnatic it seems to be playing right now. Like the comms, I don't know. Like something's missing.
Well, also, I mean, they are playing against EnVy, right? Against any other team, I think Fnatic pull this off.
Yeah,
It's just,
of
you know,
course.
EnVy, you cannot give them any kind of weakness. You can't show anything to them because they will just punish you. Happy on point. Everybody on point. Kiyoshima didn't have many frags, but that didn't really play into it when all of his teammates were just sitting, you know, getting the kills that were necessary to get on that board and just take, I mean, 9-6 first half on T-side. That's pretty much
and
it.
Kyo had one frag, getting 9-6 anyway. But you
That's
saw
true.
there, I mean, the last round just comes to show how smart Kiyoshima is, despite not getting the frags, right? Very calm and collected. When you saw Kiyoshima actually seeing the first guy in mid when it's a 3-on-3 on the last round, he ends up just falling back, played safe, right? And that's the play. If you had been any more aggressive there, you end up dying, you leave the whole bomb site open, right? And you give Fnatic an opening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when it mattered most, he was there for the team. They lock it down. They get a 2-0 win over Fnatic, and they get a spot in the semifinals. So now we're going to throw it over to the analysts to break down this best-of-3 series. Alex, it's all yours.
Yes.
Actually similar. I think it's actually me on the stage with Kenny, but that's all right. Not to worry. We'll jump in quick. We'll get to Alex in a second. He's got to wait because you're far more important, Kenny. Great game from you guys, and I talked to you a little bit outside yesterday. Cobblestone, you said communication was a problem. You said today team was feeling much better. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, as I told you, today we arrived with a new mindset, and it's way better than yesterday. I mean, our communication was really smooth, and we finally played like a team. So when we are playing like this, we are one of the best teams in the world. So we have to keep going.
I like how you still say one of the, despite being, you know, the previous major champion, you still get the respect, you know, for guys like Fnatic. In converse conversation to what I had with you outside, saying your communication was good, I talked a little bit with them between maps as well, and they said one of the things that they were a little bit, not so much surprised about, but feeling a little bit unlucky about was just the timing of you guys pushing through. They were always caught off guard. Now, this is the first time you've played this new roster on LAN. Obviously, you guys struggled at Winter, DreamHack Winter, didn't make it through, got caught off guard a little bit by LG. They went all the way through, but you never met each other. Were you a little bit surprised by their new orientation? Was there anything that, you know, you found almost a little bit, I mean, to put in perspective, if you go back with timings, they're normally a team that was very good with them, very cohesive. Was it almost too easy today? Did they seem off?
No, I mean, they made a lot of games with their new team, so we were able to see them playing, so we were not surprised or something. I think it's not about timing, it's just we were better today and they were not at their best probably because I used to see Fnatic in better shape. But yeah, I think it was just we were the better team today, and that's it.
And as for that slump in Winter, there was a little bit of talk and speculation about map pool issues. Obviously, again, you're playing a honeymoon period, crazy individual performance to LG, but how are you guys feeling overall? Getting late in the year, I think this is your last tournament, just about everyone's last tournament. Do you guys feel a little worn out? Do you guys feel actually quite rejuvenated and feel like you guys are in a good spot going into 2016?
What did you say? Sorry.
Do you feel good? Basically, you know, obviously Winter, bit of a slump. Everyone's getting a little worn out end of the year. Do you guys feel good about where you stand right now as a team moving forward? You know, you guys have been the roster now since 2 majors in a row. Won one of them. Is things looking good? Inside motivation still there to start off 2016 because it's going to be a busy year.
Yeah, of course. Next year will be amazing, and it's a huge boost for us as motivation and as a team. And we will work harder because we have to work harder for the next year if we want to manage to make some good results. But yeah, for this year we want to end up with a good note.
All right, well, thank you so much. We will let you get going. You guys have made it through to the semifinals tomorrow. Fnatic's going to have to play in the decider match of the group. But that said, we'll now go to the analysts. We'll head over with Alex and the desk. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks very much, Matt. Good to hear what Kenny had to say about that one. What have I done? What did I do?
What? No,
Nothing.
What did I do?
Nothing.
I feel, I'm
You
feeling
did-
guilty.
Nothing's
Fantastic.
wrong. You did a great job.
I'm getting told off. What's happened here? I'm like checking myself in the preview.
I mean,
It's like when everyone in the class laughs except you and you don't know what you've done
It
wrong.
has nothing to do with an iron. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh.
Okay, wow.
Blue's got some
firing
teeth.
shots. Okay,
Yes.
as I was gonna say before Mr. Fnatic fanboy over here. You
All
know,
right.
you've got a blue shirt on. Your name's blue, but you don't bleed blue, evidently.
No. Bleed orange. Actually, I have an orange shirt. I could have worn it today. Maybe you could have given them some luck.
Maybe we'll see that tomorrow.
But it seems the newness of the Fnatic roster has kind of started to wear off now. I mean, we're actually seeing a very strong Envy starting to come back because this was just a dominating performance from them on this map. All of the crucial battles, 9 times out of 10, went by the way of EnVyUs, and that threw them round after round after round again. And unfortunately, Fnatic just seemed to crack under the pressure, and eventually EnVyUs just take a huge lead at the end of the second map.
In contrast, Sean, you called it Envy. You said there Inferno was stronger, and almost those kind of cracks that you outlined in Fnatic's Inferno started to show quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic definitely didn't have as complete of an arsenal as EnVyUs had that match. It was pretty obvious. But with that being said, that match was way closer than those scores say. All the key rounds, like Blue said, came down to these really crucial, like 1v1, 2v2 battles, and EnVyUs came out on top 9 times out of 10.
Jason.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't see Fnatic losing them that often, but I mean, all the credit to Envy for taking those fights. I mean, part of it too is it's exactly that danger. It's exactly the reason why Inferno was such a gamble for Fnatic. And that first half, Envy wins 2 to 3 of those rounds where they have 3 Tech 9s, 2 AK-47s, and they just come out of the halls, and it's so dangerous.
Where do you stand on that discussion that Anders regularly brings up, surrounding Inferno, where he's like, a Tech 9 isn't that much of a disadvantage on Inferno, especially on that T side. I mean,
Yeah,
well, of course it's on the T side, but you know what I mean. It's like something that you can actually, for entering sites and stuff like that. It's I mean,
it's not just on Inferno, but yeah, like, especially if you look at Inferno, especially when Envy was coming out of those A halls, the apartments, very narrow choke point. You can get out, you can jump, you can stay moving, and keep spamming that Tech 9. Very dangerous gun. We've just seen Envy do it so often. The big thing was as well, Fnatic. I mean, as they tried and they had some good rounds early on, but they never really stabilized and got their economy that strong and that built upon in the first half of the first half. In those first 6, 7, 8 rounds of the first half, they weren't able to get anything solid going. So they were constantly in danger of being reset, and they were constantly in danger of exactly what Envy eventually did to them, was just win some force buys.
Another thing that happens too is, again, just some of the more basic things for Fnatic just start to fall apart, like checking some of these angles. That replay that was just shown there gave us a pretty good example of it. Fnatic are walking right by, they're not checking the cubby, so they're going to get shut down from that direction, and then even the response to it as well leaves them sort of out in the open to some degree, and they're shut out to an even larger degree for many, many more rounds just because of that. When they start falling apart, they get sloppy, and again, EnVyUs just tumbleweed their way into victory there.
Yeah, and EnVyUs did a great job, as what was shown in that one clip right there, of controlling the bracket area of middle. They were constantly harassing, they were constantly peeking. You saw Kenny playing that close corner, getting a kill, getting a flash from Kiyoshima, far side jungle. They were constantly controlling that area, just picking Fnatic apart. And even though they were going 1-for-1, they were getting a lot of information when they were doing it, and it would allow them to stack the bomb sites.
There was just some, and also some questionable. We touched on the fact that Fnatic lost a lot of those 2-on-2, 3-on-3s, those situationals at the end of the rounds they don't normally lose. I mean, you could just kind of see it seemed like they just weren't feeling as in sync as normal. I mean, there was, Flaren pointed out during the broadcast, in that eco, there was an eco round where the bomb was dropped at top of mid and Fnatic gives it up. They let Envy pick it back up in a 2-on-3. That's when Happy, I believe, got the ace. But, just things of that nature. And there were just some really well-played rounds by Envy at the end there, but also just some uncommon mistakes from Fnatic. One thing I noticed in the first half as well was Olaf opping a decent amount in the first half. Instead of, having JW, customarily we see him in lane with the op.
Happened in Koppel as well.
Yeah,
Same point.
So, I mean, bringing it back to that discussion, that was a little, I don't know if they're trying to maybe mind game a little bit, saying, everyone knows that we're going to have JW opping. But, why go away from it? It works.
Is this a change that's kind of arisen since the in-game leadership change? Is this something maybe Flush is calling? I doubt it's that simple.
Could be. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about that.
But I'm sure there is a lot less structure and a lot less limitations on the players. There's a lot more loose atmosphere in the team without Pronax on the team. So I'm sure Olaf doesn't feel restricted at all anymore.
And it's so weird, too, that we actually don't see JW going back to that opping role on this map because he was so confident on it yesterday. Granted, again, completely different, caliber of team that they're going up against. But still, he was so confident on it yesterday, and he got a good amount of practice on it there. So what are we doing there?
Sorry, I just wanted to kind of connect. Yeah, I realized we're all in line. It's really kind of weird. We look like robots.
You got to go the other direction. You've got to be different, I see.
No, but I'm not flexible enough. This was really hurting, so I was just trying to make our feet kiss.
Oh, we're going to make our feet. Oh, wait.
Oh, this is, look at this.
High
That
five.
desk
This is-
synergy. There
is
you
nice.
go. This is nice. And now we don't look, now we look normal. We look weird before.
Yeah, now we've got it. We found
This
it,
is
boys.
much better. This is much better.
There we go.
This is what we're
analyst
missing.
synergy. Absolutely. And talking of synergy, Envy looked like, it's always a discussion point I like to bring up at the end of a game. See that? Do you see that like segue? That was pretty sweet. I mean, talking about synergy.
I'm not breaking it.
I wanted to bring up the point whereby Envy, is it Envy looking good and on the rise once again because we had this storyline?
Yes.
That was what we came into, right? But then again, as Kenny said it in an interview, he was like, fnatic, that wasn't their best play. That's not the fnatic that they were expecting.
It definitely wasn't, but look at that. There was that one play that I think was really
you guys are still doing it.
Yeah,
That's adorable.
It really signified to me that Envy has, what Happy said they need to work on some new wrinkles in their gameplay. Was that fake they had? They faked over towards the B bomb site, completely caused a rotation.
Look at your socks as well. You've got some gorgeous socks on today, Jason.
Not letting it happen, not breaking the connection. But it really, that fake was beautiful, and all of Fnatic just got pulled out of the A bomb site. It was an easy win for Envy from there, and that's, that's adding some new wrinkles into their arsenal.
Yeah, and I'm talking of wrinkles. And just turned 30 recently, so I want to wish him happy birthday for that one. But also, I'm just trying to do as many segues as I possibly can. We do need to turn our attention to what's going to be coming up next, of course. That's going to be an interesting one, no doubt. More European Counterstrike coming your way. Of course, the two winners of their games yesterday are going to be battling it out. It was TQM, of course, formerly TSM, going up against Natus Vincere. So that's going to be a really good game, guys. Opening thoughts, a little teaser for the guys at home about how this one's going to play out. Are we going to see a three-mapper? Because that was, Sean, you came out the gate saying that wasn't going to be three maps. The other two kind of were expecting to see Mirage. How about this one? What are your expectations?
This has more of a chance of going three maps, in my opinion. Na'Vi gives TSM fits. They're not very... I don't think they're a very good team at going against slow default teams, so that's why they struggle against Luminosity, they struggle against NIP, and they struggle against Na'Vi. The three teams that run slow default's the best in my eyes. So this could be a really bad matchup for TQM.
All right.
Yeah, they got
potentially
crushed
see them.
at San Jose. Let's not forget that. Once these two teams met in the final, it was just like, it wasn't even a contest.
Yeah,
So that's a little bit scary.
Na'Vi looked completely on form yesterday as well, with Flamey and Guardian topping the charts easily there, and just Flamey specifically really impressed yesterday. So if that continues into this match, then it's gonna be a bit of a rough one for TQM.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so guys, expecting maybe a bit of a cough and a splutter for the Danes. We'll see how it does play out. For now, though, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you Game 2 of our 4-game day. For now, though, reminder about the Score Esports application. Grab it on your smartphone or even do it on the web using Google Play and iOS. And of course, not only is it stats, it's also articles. There's a couple of highlights on Envy and, of course, Happy as an individual as well. So be sure to check that one out while we're in our break. But we're heading away, guys. We'll see you in 5 for our second game.